You know, if you take everything I've accomplished in my entire life and condense it down into one day, it looks decent.
Good evening, party people. Welcome to a very exciting episode of Decent Show. I identify as non-binary pansexual, but you can call me Ryan, or my preferred pronouns are them and they. And I'm joined by heterosexual male Reagan. And Reagan, what's happening? What's going on?
My penis is the size of a peanut. You seen it? Fuck no, I ain't seen it. It's the size of a peanut.
That's fantastic. I love hearing about your penis. And this episode is very exciting. Speaking of penises, brought to you by Trojan Condoms.
Thanks for the sponsor.
Yeah, thanks for the sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Trojan, so make sure you wear a rubber with your lover so you don't make her a mother. Trojan Condoms. Been preventing kids since 1963. And this episode, I'm going to do a lot of... I've already done it, but I'm going to try to avoid my buttums and my likes and my excessive talking and pretty much everything. Oh, and the juice.
The juice.
The ice. Yeah, the juice, the ice. The things that have plagued and ruined most of our episodes, aside from the great content that we put out here on the Decent Show.
Aside from the audio quality and just overall product. Yeah,
the fact that you're in the left headphone and I'm in the right headphone. But other than that, we're killing the podcast game. We've actually been ranked best gender fluid podcast in the Southwest, which is actually a really progressive category. So thank you guys for your support. And we're doing an episode that we've been trying to do for a while because Eminem's birthday was recently, and we're trying to do like an episode kind of ranking all of his albums, just kind of ranking. Honestly, like it was supposed to just be a ranking of his albums, but really we're going to kind of be ranking his career as a whole. Really going to be touching on his legacy. We're going to be touching on all of our favorite things about his career, our least favorite things. I mean, honestly, there's a lot that we're going to cover. Reagan, scale of 1 to the number of albums that Eminem's had. How excited are you right now?
I would give it a D12.
What a creative and generic answer. So how do you want to start this episode? Are we going to do any kind of catch up? Are we going to get right into like balls deep into M, or what's going to happen here?
Yeah, anything you want to say, let's just get that out of the way, because once we get into Eminem, like it'll probably take a very long time. So is there any stories going on, any funny stuff you want to like throw by me before we get started?
Yeah, there's a ton, but we probably won't be able to get through it. Let's see. I've watched a bunch of movies. I guess we'll save that for future episodes. Does that sound good?
We can, or we can just brush up on it. I mean, it's really up to you.
Okay,
Did you ever watch Simple Favor?
No, that's gonna be it's gonna be the next thing I watch. So I'm hopefully gonna watch it like tomorrow or Monday, just because those are like my only like kind of 2 nights off, basically. I'm working like 11 days in a row, so it's gonna be tough. But just a few things that I thought were funny that I wanted to run by you. I went and saw Zombieland 2 the other day, and I'm not gonna bother talking about the movie because I'll try to save that for a future episode, but I thought the movie was actually pretty decent. But right before I saw the movie, we had gotten our tickets, we were walking in, and it's like, all right, I'm going to go, take a piss real quick before the movie starts. And I'm going to the bath. Yeah, I normally do that. And I'm going to the bathroom, and right as I'm about to get to the bathroom door, there's this white guy, like brownish red hair, glasses, you've seen him, and he's like walking really fast, like he is on a mission, and he is headed to the bathroom too. And so I like pull back and like pull out my phone, and I'm like, I'm gonna let this guy go first. Like, I'm not gonna try to play who's gonna get to the door first with this guy, because like I was closer, but he was walking way faster. So it's one of those really awkward like social situations, and we're both going to the bathroom. So I was just like, I'm gonna get out of this guy's way because I don't like him. I don't like his vibe. And definitely didn't like his face. It was ugly. And we like go into the bathroom, and sure enough, one of the urinals is like out of order anyway, and he's at the other urinal. He went straight for it. He was, like I said, in a big hurry. And so I go into the stall to to take my little tinkle before the movie, and I didn't really have to go that bad, but I know that, it's a 2-hour movie. I'm going to have to piss at some point, so I'm going to get it over with now. So I'm sitting there chilling, and this dude literally has the most, I'm using the Rock's lingo here, the most electrifying piss in sports entertainment history. This is the greatest piss I've ever heard. It easily tops the Austin Powers piss from whenever he gets out of the freezer. This guy went for it. I've never heard a piss so loud and so thick and just so extra. Literally, this guy must have had the biggest urethra, the biggest, fattest chode. I mean, he could have had a long dick as well, but he for sure had a fat dick, because this guy had the thickest piss I've ever heard. And I hate to exaggerate, because I feel like I'm being extra, but this was an insane piss, dude. It was jaw dropping. I've never heard somebody. I was jealous of him. I was like, dude, I wish I could feel that kind of relief right now. It was such a good piss, dude. It was really loud. And honestly, I don't know how his pants weren't soaked from, the backlash from the urinal. You feel me? The backlash just getting all over him.
Unfortunately, that is some of the best detail you've ever gone into on a story. So yeah, I got a pretty clear picture of what happened there. Thank you for painting that for me, Picasso.
No problem. Dude, it really, I wish I was exaggerating. That's how crazy his piss was. It was violently loud. I was stone cold sober. So had I been a little influenced by the juice, I definitely would have said something. Because I would have been like, dude, what the fuck?
Did you almost say something anyway?
Yes, of course. I literally wanted to be like, dude, what the fuck? Is this the best piss you've ever had? Did you just drink 3 pre-workout shakes before coming to this movie? What the hell happened?
Is this the first time you've ever gone to the bathroom? You've been holding your whole adult life?
18 years? Yeah, senior year, bro, I'm gonna piss. Yeah, it was out of hand. So that was right before Zombieland 2. And speaking before Zombieland 2, Bad Boys 3, but it's actually called Bad Boys for Life. Trailer preview that looked like ass water. And God, dude,
coming out, do you know?
No, I don't.
Isn't it sad?
Yeah, it's so bad, dude. I
could
care.
How you see trailers now and you never even know the date. You're just so focused on what's going on.
Yeah, I think that is accurate, but also I could care less when that movie's coming out. It looks so bad.
Really?
But speaking of that movie, I don't know why Keith Gardner posted this on Facebook, but apparently Bad Boys 3 and Coming to America 2, which is a sequel. Coming to America 2 is a sequel to a popular
Eddie Murphy movie, right?
Right. Apparently, they're filming at Tyler Perry Studios at the same time, which I think all of that's hilarious, because Bad Boys 3 is long overdue. It's nobody gives a fuck at this point. No. Coming to America 2 is even older, and Tyler Perry's movies are ass. So just the fact that all 3 of those are happening at the same time, I just think is hilarious.
Do you think that is any movie Tyler Perry's in, is that a Tyler Perry movie?
Pretty much, yeah. I think if he showed up on set, it's a Tyler Perry movie.
What about Gone Girl?
Yeah, definitely Tyler Perry movie.
Really?
I have no idea. Was he involved in Gone Girl?
I don't know. I was about to say that's probably the only good movie he's ever been associated with, if that is a Tyler Perry.
How is he associated? What did he do?
He's the lawyer in that movie.
Oh, he's probably just acting then.
Okay. That's what I'm wondering, because he plays a pretty decent part in that movie, but it's 10,000 times better than every Madea movie.
And that's the thing, dude. I'm not even trying to poop on these guys. I like Martin Lawrence. I like Will Smith. I like Tyler Perry. I have no problem with any of them. I think they're all very talented. But just they're making sequels to movies we don't care about at a studio that's pumping out Tyler Perry Madea movies that nobody's cared about for 5 to 10 years.
What's a Will Smith movie you'd like a sequel to?
Hicks 2, probably. Fuck, I mean, he's got so many garbage movies out lately.
Honestly, I would. I honestly really like that movie. It's probably it's probably my favorite like girl movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, dude, seriously, the best chick flick. Probably
well,
one of the top.
If you don't count like bullshit like Wedding Crashers or I Love You Man, then I think it easily is.
No, in terms of being a true
like romantic first, comedy second.
Yes, it's definitely in the top 5 of rom-coms, not com-roms, but definitely rom-coms, top 5. And I referenced it the other day because they wanted us at the viewing party that we did for the Rockets. They were like, "Yeah, you guys need to do like this little dance. You know, we're doing like an intro dance, and it has to be like this specific set of dance moves." And it was kind of complex, and pretty much everybody that was working the party was white, and all of us were like, "No, we can't do that." And the guy was like, "No, it's easy. Like, you can do it." And we're like, "Nah, dude. Like, we can't do it." And he was like, "Well, what can you guys do?" I was like, "I mean, I can kind of do whatever, but I can't do specific dance moves. But I can look like an idiot. I can do like the Will Smith from Hitch. Like, that's the best I got." And they were like,
90
"What?"
degrees from the waist.
Yes,
Don't need no pizza. They got food there.
Yes. That's exactly what I was talking about. And everybody looked at me like I was an idiot. And I was like, is Hitch really that old of a reference? Like, I know it's a 15-year-old movie, but, like, it's good. Like, you should know what I'm talking about. I was very disappointed.
I don't know. What? Maybe iRobot or I Am Legend. He technically dies, but I'd still like to see that.
I haven't seen either one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Which phone should I text you at?
The iPhone.
Your old phone number?
Yeah, my Houston H-Town. Hold it down.
Oh. Yeah. I'm sending the reason why I ask is I'm sending you something because it's a post that I screenshotted and I hate everything about this post and I want to rant about it, but I need you to see it.
Okay.
Before I rant about it, so let me know when you get it because my phone sucks at sending stuff.
Nice, dude. Sometimes I say that to someone like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "H-Town, hold it down. Candy paint changes colors in the light." Like I'll say something like that, and I'm just like, so like where? And I'm like Tomball. Or it's like oh they're like oh yeah like in Houston right? And I'm like oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you think I meant by H-Town? Hold it down. Fucking fact. Yeah. Oh god. Alright, so
I don't mess with people nearly as much as you mess with people. Like I don't feel like I can get away with it enough, I guess.
I've tried to do it less because I'm tired of telling people I'm joking. That's definitely for sure, but there's some people that are really cool. Like I had to work like this community event from literally like 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. And so it was like 11 and a half hours that I was there. And since it was so early in the morning, like I didn't get to take my morning poop. So like I was literally joking with the other guy that I was working with all day. I was like, dude, I got to take a shit so bad. I was like, I can't wait for lunch. I'm going to shit my pants. And then like we had a really short lunch, so I didn't get to poop. And I ate, obviously. And he even asked me, he was like, dude, should you take a shit? I was like, nah, man, I didn't have time. Like after work though, I'm going to take the biggest shit ever. And sure enough, like 5 hours later, when we finally got back to the office, he was like packing up. He was like, all right, man, I'll see you later. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'll see you later. I'm about to go blow it up. And he was like, good luck. And I go to the bathroom and I take this massive dump. And like, we have automatic flushes at the toilets there.
Nice. Well,
corporate
I like that, actually.
Well, it's a corporate flush, though. It's kind of like what George talks about, like best flush in the city. Uh-huh. You know? And I had a turd like long enough and thick enough to where like it got caught up on the toilet and that flush like wasn't sending it down, and I was like, this is so epic. But the flush is strong enough as a corporate flush. It was strong enough that at the very end got my turd, and I was like, damn it. Because I was going to go brag to the other guy. And sure enough, I walk out of the bathroom and him and like the dude I was working with, they're just sitting there waiting for me because they all wanted to like walk out together because it's like sketchy downtown at night. And he looks up at me, he's like, how's your shit? And I was like, dude, you missed it. Like, it barely flushed. And the other dude, like the third dude, looked at us like we were insane. And I was like, sorry, man, we've been talking about my poop all day and I finally got to take it. Like, You missed it. Did you get my text?
No, dude, your phone's slow as garbage.
Holy cow. Oh, okay. Good. That's. You really didn't get it. It said it sent 3 minutes ago.
Dude, it's not happening. I don't know. Maybe try my other phone. Who cares?
That's so funny.
Oh,
I
yeah, I
love
just got
that.
it. LOL.
No,
Frowny.
before that though.
No,
I sent.
I just got LOL from you. Is that the picture? Let's delete it.
No, it's not. That's the thing. I sent LOL as a test. Anyway, so the girl from work. Hopefully, the last thing I rant about the girl from work. We hang out, right? And she's really dumb, and she doesn't know what's going on. And I mean, I could say anything to her. Like we always have a misunderstanding. Like always. Like she'll
Hi.
say
What do you mean?
exactly. Exactly, dude. Like she'll say something and I'll be like, "Oh, dude, like I totally missed you on that one event." And she was like, "Whoa, what? Whoa, what do you mean? What event?" And it's like the one fucking event that happened last week that you weren't working. Like it's like it's just like the most minor of things that like we just won't understand each other. Like I'm not even trying to be funny with her, and she just won't understand what I'm saying, and I get so frustrated. And then she'll still want to hang out after work, and she'll tell me something like somewhat personal and intimate, I guess, about her life, and I'll just be like, "Oh yeah, no, that's what's up." And she'll instantly tell, like, when I don't give a shit. Like she'll just be like, she'll like say in like a joking voice, she'll be like, "Oh, and I couldn't give a shit at all," like like make like imitating me, and it's just like you're so dumb, but you always know when I don't care what you're saying. Like, it's amazing. She's never missed a single one. Anytime where I've ever been like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool," she's always been like, "Yeah, you don't give a fuck." Like, she just always knows. And I just don't get how someone so dumb knows when I really, really don't care what she has to say. I, did I tell you about when she had to give me directions? Did I tell you about that?
No, man. Please.
Oh god, so I had to give her a ride home for work because she like got dropped off by her parents because her car was broken, and instead of having her parents come all the way downtown and pick her up, she asked if I could just drop her off, which is fine with me because she's attractive and she literally lives like on my way home. Like
Oh, nice.
I literally have to drive by her neighborhood to get to my neighborhood, so it's no problem. And so I was like, "Yeah, no big deal." And she like gets in my car and she was like, "You live on the northwest side of Houston, right?" And I go, "Yeah." I was like, "Don't you live in Jersey Village?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Yeah, I live in Cypress, so you're literally on my way home." She goes, "Okay, cool." And I was like, "You live off of Jones?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." So like I'm literally driving home and we're getting towards 290, like we're on 290, and I'm getting close to Jones, and I was like, "Get off at Jones, right?" And she hasn't said anything this whole time. Like we've kind of chit chatted here and there, but for the most part, she's been on her phone. And so I'm like,
Wow.
she hasn't like,
Surprise.
yeah, shocker. She hasn't given me any direction, so I'm like, "I get off at Jones, right? Like that's where you live?" And she just looks at me and goes, "Yeah, sure." I'm just like, "Great." And so I'm getting off at Jones, and I was like, "Okay, do I take a right or left?" And she goes, "Right." And then 5 seconds later, she's like, "Wait, no, left." I was like, "God damn it!" She doesn't even know. Like what? Like she doesn't even know. And I was like, "Okay." So I like take a left at Jones. She hasn't said anything. She's looking at her phone, and I'm going down Jones for probably, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Like I'm going a decent amount of ways, like because I'm assuming I have to take a turn at some point. And so I'm like looking at her, like, "Okay, am I good? Like, do I keep going straight? Do I turn?" And she just looks up from her phone and goes, "Oh shit! Like I don't know where we are." She's like, "Let me look up the maps. I should have done this a long time ago." And it's like, "Yeah, what the fuck? Like you don't even know where we're at right now?" She looks up her address on her phone. We're 8 miles from her house. Like we're not even close.
8 miles and running in a
Nice.
Cadillac.
And so I was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, you gotta like go to this way." And I go, "Okay." And I like get back on, and I'm like already know like what she said, and I'm already doing it. She goes, "Yeah, you have to get on here." And I was like, "I'm already on. Like I'm doing." And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then like we're going for a little ways on 290, like going back the way we came, like headed back towards downtown because we passed this bitch's exit. And and we're like, I don't know, we're like right on her exit. She's like, "Oh, you need to exit here." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks for the notice."
You
And
said that?
yeah, I did. And like we're exiting Fairbanks, North Houston. And I was like, so you don't live off of Jones, huh? And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, because we're exiting Fairbanks, North Houston. Jones is, 2 miles the other way, And she goes, what? And I was like, this isn't Jones. And she goes, this is news to me. And I was like, dude, what the what? It's like, you don't know where you live? Like, you don't know your exit? You don't know nothing? If we're going down the street, and the same thing, dude, I'm just going down the street. I'm like, am I good? And she's like, yeah, you're good. She's like looking at Instagram. She's not even looking at the map. And then as soon as I have to turn, like somewhere, like I have to turn right to a different street, and I'm like passing the street. And she's like, oh, you're supposed to turn right here. Like, I'm supposed to know that? And it's like, bitch, like, you're the one with the fucking directions. Like, I don't have the map. I don't have your address. Like, you're my guide.
He's got the map.
This is your house. Like, this is your house. And you're fucking telling me. I just couldn't believe it. And so, like, every time I had to make a turn, she was telling me as I passed the street that I needed to make that turn. And after probably 5 wrong turns, we finally get to her house, and I pull into her driveway, and I'm like seething pissed. Like, I'm so mad. I'm like breathing through my teeth. And she's like, thanks for putting up with me. And I was like, yeah, I hope you get your car fixed. Like, and I like just literally left, dude. Like, I can't believe, but again, the same person who like can't tell that I'm super pissed that she's terrible at giving directions to her own fucking house. She can instantly tell when I don't care about something she has to say. Like, isn't that fascinating?
I don't know how that correlates. All I know is she is maybe gave the worst possible answers and responses to maybe the worst person to give those responses to.
Oh yeah.
Because I can just picture your frustration, like, just mounting constantly.
It was pretty bad. It was, yeah, no, it was rough. I haven't given her a ride since, obviously. And then, did you ever receive my text?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so I don't want to name drop the person just in case they listen to the show because we have mutual friends.
Oh, dude, I didn't even realize it was a person that we knew.
Yeah, we went to high school with this person.
So Ryan sent me a picture of, it's a couple together and they're sitting on a bridge.
Yep. Well, you're already giving everything away, but yes.
Well, I'm just trying to describe it to people listening, but it's just, it's a generic couple photo, and the first thing that pops out to me is that it really takes a lot of the wind out of your sails when you're taking a generic couple photo, and literally in your photo, other people are taking generic couple photos at the same way you are. That just really bothers me.
I didn't even notice that. That's not even what I had beef with, but now I have beef with that, no doubt.
Because it's just like that.
Yeah, there's 3 white girls. There's 3 white girls getting a photo taken by another white girl, like exactly. Right in their background. Yeah.
Why? So like it'd be like, yeah, here's my Lamborghini. Like, take a picture of it, and there's like 15 Lamborghinis behind you. It's like, well, I mean, you're not. That doesn't look good, So what are you mad about in this photo? Like, just the stupid stance and the forced laughter that's not actually happening?
Yes, all of it, dude. Like, I literally hate everything about this photo. I hate the location. I hate the couple. I hate the pose. I hate whoever took the photo. Honestly, I hate the caption. It's like the catchiest, corniest, shortest, funniest, most efficient caption that you could use right there. It's so generic, and I fucking hate it. But at the same time, like, the reason why I hate it so much is, like, literally it's like a perfect cell phone photo because they got the skyline in the background, like, faded out. They got the bridge and the other people in the background faded out, and they're perfectly in focus doing a super cute couple generic pose, and they have, like, the most efficient caption possible. Like, literally it's a 2-word caption. You can't get any more efficient than that caption, and it's a rap lyric caption. It's a song by Biggie and Jay-Z. So, like, it's so perfect and so corny and cheesy at the same time that I hate everything about it. And
wow. That's inspiring.
Yeah.
And like, that's what really takes the wind out of a lot of sales of photos is like, if you ever think about like, okay, how did they get this photo? They literally sat there and were like, "Hey, look like you're laughing, and I'm gonna look like I'm laughing, and then we'll freeze your
Yeah.
face at the same time." And it's like that's like so forced and weird. Why would they? I mean, like I get everyone wants to have like a nice photo, but do you know how rarely people actually genuinely laugh and they have their photo taken? Like it would be so much less than it is like now because of how forced it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's insane. For all the listeners out there, I'll put it as the thumbnail for this video, so go ahead and check that out. I'm just kidding. But that would be funny.
Oh god.
We're talking about like Eminem albums and it's just this random couple's photo.
Oh god, yeah, dude. It's just I hate it too. And you know what's even more disgusting is like that dude's girlfriend. His girlfriend and his sister almost look like sisters. Like it's kind of gross.
That's true, actually. That's weird.
Yeah, yeah, I would do his sisters now. But anyway, last thing I'm gonna say before we jump into this, I've been watching a ton of stuff. The most important thing that I want to tell you about in terms of what I've watched is Big Mouth season 3. I finished it.
Mm-hmm.
The final episode of the season was honestly really epic because like all of the kids like become superheroes and all of their superpowers are super interesting. And Jay, Jay, the funniest one, like the bisexual magician, like
Yes.
yeah, he like literally like fucks a turkey in the opening episode of season 3. And he discovers his bisexuality in season 3. Anyway, um, he becomes like Doctor Strange of cum, basically. Like he can like he's the cum bender. That's what it is. He's the cum bender, not the air bender, but the cum bender. And like they're fighting like this epic boss at the end of the episode, and he like whirls out Sylvester Stallone made of cum, and he's like, "Hey, like I'm
And he does
Sylvester
a stupid
Stallone." Yeah,
impression.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm made of cum. I gotta do what I gotta do. Like, you want to get sticky? Let's do it." Like I don't know. It's just, it's so good, dude. It was the
No offense,
funniest
but
thing
we're here.
ever. Yes, dude. It was the funniest thing ever. Like, honestly, best end of the season I've ever seen. But the only problem was like the very end of that episode was super depressing. Like the very end of the episode was really sad, but everything before that was epic and hilarious, and it was a really great way to end the season. But also, I meant to say earlier, we were talking about Bad Boys for Life, Bad Boys 3, Coming to America 2, all that. I saw those trailers. Bad Boys for Life looks awful. Looks like the worst movie I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anything more generic in a trailer than
Hobbs
in
and
that movie.
Shaw.
Yeah,
Angel
like
has fallen.
yeah, all the same. Like I think they all have the same trailer production company. Are all of those movies made by Sony? Because Zombieland 2 is a Sony movie, and all of the trailers before the movie were like Sony Columbia movies.
No. Hobbs and Shaw, I know, is Universal.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they have the same guys making the trailers, so I
They
guess.
suck just as much as the others.
Yeah, they were all so bad that like it made the Charlie's Angel trailer look really good. Like, not even kidding. Because I was like, I've been pooping on that movie without even knowing anything about it for a minute. But these other trailers were so bad, I was like, man, the Charlie's Angels movie looks good. Directed by Elizabeth Banks. Like, she acts in it and directs in it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this movie a chance now because these other movies look so bad.
She also acted and directed all the Pitch Perfect movies, so.
Okay, never mind then. But, we had a chance. We had a chance of it being something good.
It's true.
All right, well, we're already like 30 minutes in. Do we need to get into the same stuff? Do you have anything I'm missing out on?
No, I've actually been watching like super generic stuff on Hulu.
Like?
I have literally no idea why, but I started watching CSI, and I
Why?
honestly think it's hilarious.
Crime scene investigation, like the original CSI.
Yes.
Why did you start watching that?
I don't know, but it is very enjoyable. Like, I don't know. I'm like interested in it because it's just, I don't know. It's just something to have on in the background and like you can first like 10 or 15 minutes and the last like 5 minutes, and you'll get like everything you need to solve the crime, and like it'd be satisfying.
How many episodes are there?
Dude, there's like a billion. Like I'll never finish it. There's like 15 It's like goes from 2000 to 2015. Like I'll never finish it. Each episode is 5 minutes, dude. There's no way I'll finish it.
You're becoming my father.
I just watch generic shows every now and then, and I honestly don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm like, I just want the routine, I guess, or just like the predictability.
God, it's disgusting.
Like, just like, all right, first episode. What is the crime that is committed? Just guess. You don't know
Rape.
what it is.
It's rape or murder.
It's murder. What kind of murder is it? Think of tropes. Think of things that are played out that are
Friendly homicide. One friend kills another friend.
no. Maybe this isn't as obvious as I thought. It's
Baker Pascal?
no. It's a suicide. It's a suicide that is actually a murder. It's framed as a suicide.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely a classic.
Yeah, super generic. But yeah, I've been watching that. Don't really know why again, but I guess I'm just like bored and I'm looking for something to watch.
Yeah, no, you must be. There's you could watch any of the shows that I've told you to watch, but yeah, definitely watch CSI. That's great.
Some of them aren't like a lot of those are hard to find and aren't available on the streaming things I have.
Yeah, Drunk History, Sopranos. Yeah,
I actually watched a little bit of Drunk History the other day. What was it about? It was about like blimps or something. It was about like some kind of blimp army or something like that. It was hilarious. I don't know. I just remember it being like there being a point where there was literally like because I was watching it on Comedy Central. I guess they do it on YouTube too, but like every word was a bleep and it was hilarious. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, let's get into the M stuff. You just want to go ahead and start out the albums, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't know what you wanted to do there.
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna talk for a very long time about this, so I don't know. We might as well just get started and we'll just see where the conversation goes.
Yeah, let's just start with ranking the albums.
All right. I bet we have the same number 10.
Yeah, go ahead.
Infinite.
Yeah. You want to hear something funny?
What?
Is whenever you text me like, hey, are we ranking Infinite? And I was like, yeah, dude, like, no doubt. Like, I'm totally going to go back and listen to it. I never went and listened to a second of Infinite, except for the lead single titled Infinite.
Yeah.
I listened to that song and I was like, yeah, it's a decent song, but it's really not that good. And I remember it being the best song on the album, so that means the rest of it's garbage.
Pretty much.
So,
yep.
Yeah, did you listen to it?
I didn't listen to a lot of it, to be honest with you, which is why I picked, like, for every album, I was like, all right, what's my favorite song? What's my least favorite song? And I was like, this album, favorite song has got to be Infinite, and then for least favorite, I just put the rest of the album.
Same.
Exactly. It's got a lot of features of people that never
suck,
and it's kind of obvious why they didn't.
Yeah.
And it's very much his first album, which, I mean, hey, like, you know, we didn't make the show into the powerhouse it is, you know, overnight. You know, our first episode wasn't a banger.
I mean, it was, but yeah.
It actually was. It was like maybe our best one. We've been downhill since then.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but it's his first. It's his first one. He didn't do it with Dre, and I think that's kind of obvious because the beats are sort of uninspired.
Yep.
They're very, very generic, honestly. And if you were to listen to that album, there's not a ton there that I would be able to have. I guess if I listened to that album back in the day when it came out, I wouldn't be like, yeah, this guy's gonna make it. He's gonna be like one of the biggest rappers of all time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could tell all of that from this album. Because he really doesn't, he's really not that great on this album.
No, he's not. He was still coming into his skills, and like you said, a bunch of worthless features, and then definitely the production played a huge part in it because he didn't, I'm assuming, have any kind of good producer putting this stuff together because he wasn't famous yet. This was like his high school crew, like mixtape type thing.
Outsiders or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so...
Moving right along.
Yeah, I guess there's not a lot to say there. You got anything else you want to throw in there?
No, we both agreed on our favorite and least favorite track, and we both didn't really. Well, you listened to it more than I did. I literally didn't go listen to it at all, except for Infinite, the single. So yeah,
It's
let's
not on
go.
iTunes too, which is like I guess you can just
It's
use
not on
Spotify. Oh,
Spotify.
it's
No,
not
it's
on
not.
Spotify either.
Yeah, because I went to look it up on Spotify, and the only thing they had on Spotify was the Infinite single, and I was like, well, that's all I need to know, and that's what I did.
All right, number 9. Man, I feel like I'm gonna regret a lot of these
You won't.
just because I feel like I could swap a lot of them. But number 9, Encore.
Yeah, same.
Really? Damn.
Yep. Yeah, of course, dude. Encore sucks.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, it doesn't suck, but it does. I was listening to it earlier. I've been listening to all of his albums in preparation of this episode, and right now I'm in the middle of Relapse. But yeah, Encore was whack, dude.
Yeah, it was. That was like the height of his drug use, and came out in 2004. And I love how, like, the one thing about the album to me, like, that always sticks out is, like, we went all the way up to Michigan for that freaking Eminem concert, and we listened to every single song, like, he's ever made, basically, on the way up there, because it's, like, a 24-hour drive.
And on the way back.
And on the way back. And, well, we threw some Nickelback in there on the way back, I remember that. And it was,
Oh, of
the
course.
one that we were playing the most, like, just... like that stuck with us for whatever reason was Rain Man, which is just such a weird ass song. I don't know, it's so stupid, dude. It's like maybe one of the dumbest songs he's ever come out with. And he just talks about like what is it to be gay and all this stuff. It's just so stupid, dude. But it's like hilarious though too at the same time. Like I feel like a lot of the songs on this album are not like great. They're just funny, honestly. Like I feel like Just Lose It, Ass Like That, Big Weenie, Rain Man. They're all
even Puke, One Shot, Two Shot.
Yeah. And they're all just like really funny. And then like the songs that are actually really good are I mean, my Mockingbird, like the thing about Eminem is like I really tried to separate myself from the songs that I've just heard so many times that I don't even listen to anymore.
Same.
Like I feel like I'm better I could say the lyrics better to songs that are less common than like the super generic ones like Not Afraid and stuff because I heard those so much back in the day that I've like gone away from them for pretty much since then,
Yes.
And those are all the songs that people know. And Evil Deeds, I like Evil Deeds too, actually. That was the only song in concert he played from Encore.
Yeah.
Wait, did he play Mockingbird? No, yeah, he just played Evil Deeds. But it's like actually a hype song. It's got like a really upbeat, which is weird because the rest of the album is really, I don't know, it's kind of weird just because there's really no like super hit song that's like a banger, I guess. I don't know.
Well, so a couple of things about this album. I agree with everything you've said. Height of his drug use. And actually, this was supposed to be his retirement. He had done Eminem's show, and after Eminem's show, he had released Curtain Call, Greatest Hits, like I'm done kind of thing. And then he came out with Encore. And he was super on drugs, like you had said. And Evil Deeds is technically the opening track after the opening skit. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty good. The song after that is Never Enough by 50 Cent and Nate Dogg. Actually a really short song, but it's actually really good. I don't know. I really like that song for the most. Yeah, underrated song. Good song for the most part. And probably one of the last songs that he did with Nate Dogg. Yep. Before passing. And so it was a great song. And then I had other stuff to say about the album. Oh, yeah, Mockingbird. So Mockingbird's on the album. And of all of Eminem's songs that are, like, super, like, radio heavy, like you said, the songs that have been played so many times that you don't listen to them because you don't care. They're not your favorite songs. You've heard them a million times. So all of his Love the Way You Lie, The Monster, Not Afraid, just all of those kind of songs. When I'm Gone.
Slim Shady.
My name is my name is Slim Shady. I kind of let those slide because I like those a little bit more, but just all of his like radio hits, that are so overplayed. Like Mockingbird's probably one of my favorites that I like don't skip. Like I skip When I'm Gone, I skip Love the Way You Lie, I skip Not Afraid, like The Monster. I skip pretty much all of those, but I normally don't skip Mockingbird, which I don't know why, but for some reason I like that song.
Well, see, like that song, I skip it a lot, but it's be more like mainly because I'm not in the mood to listen to something like that. Because it is like slower and it's telling a story and it's like more, it's a more emotional tale or whatever. But it is a song that if I'm ever in the mood for it, I will listen to it like 2 or 3 times in a row, just because it is a really good song.
Now, what's your favorite and least favorite on the album?
I honestly went with Just Lose It as my favorite.
Really?
It's hilarious. I love the music video. I love that he makes fun of himself. Basically, before anyone else makes fun of him, like it's weird that he would just come out and make fun of himself like that. I think it's hilarious, and yeah, I don't know. That's the song I went with. Obviously, Mockingbird is probably a better song, but I still think Just Lose is probably my favorite, just because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like that song is bonkers, just the things he talks about and just the way he gets into it with just all the celebrities and Michael Jackson and just I don't know. It's so funny.
Well, what's crazy is like considering this is like technically, let's just forget Infinite for a second. This is technically the worst album of all the other albums that we're going to be ranking here. We're at the bottom of the list, but I still like, especially at the tail end of the album, I like Rain Man. Big Weenie I could kind of live without, but Rain Man, Big Weenie, and then it's a skit, and then it's Just Lose It, Ass Like That, Spend Some Time, Mockingbird, Crazy in Love, One Shot, Two Shot, there's a skit, and then the encore, which is with Dre and 50, and then We As Americans Love You More and Ricky Tikki Talk. Like, honestly, I like all of those songs, and it's a pretty solid end to the album, and even the first half isn't that bad with Evil Deeds, Never Enough. I don't really care for Yellow Brick Road. Like Toy Soldiers, Mosh, and Puke are all pretty decent. Don't care for My First Single. So, considering it's his worst album, it's really not that bad of an album. But I would say that my favorite song is honestly Rain Man, because I listen to it all. Yeah, I listen to it all the time and I don't get tired of it. Least favorite song is My First Single, just because, I don't know, it just kind of sucks. Like, there's really nothing about it.
I don't think I ever gave you my worst song, but that is actually my worst song.
Is My First Single?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like We As Americans.
I fuck with that song. I don't know why. I fuck with it.
Crazy in Love. Well, because they both, to me, honestly, I always thought they were on. I always thought they were on Eminem show. I don't know why, but they just seem like they're from that album. Because they're just not as weird and they're more of a straight shot. Like after the government one, he's just talking about like crazy bitches, basically. I love the sample he uses in that song. You know what song he samples for that? It's just called Crazy and is the song just Crazy in Love?
Yeah, Crazy
on You. Yeah, or is it Crazy?
Yeah, Crazy on You. Probably. Yeah, it's Crazy on You. It's like Pat Benatar or something, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Did you just sip juice?
No, dude, I don't sip juice.
Oh, okay, good.
Ice in the cup, so it doesn't rattle the whole episode.
I can hear every time you sip, but yeah, no problem.
Bro, bet I won't take a drink for the rest of my life.
Alright, so number 9 is Encore. I feel like the rest of this ranking is actually going to be super interesting, because I feel like we're going to disagree.
I bet we're going to be wrong, I bet we're going to be off pretty much from here on out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I feel like we're going to disagree for the rest of this ranking. So do you have anything else to say about Encore?
Yeah, you said this is supposed to be his retirement album, so he's going to retire 8 years?
No. This was after his retirement. Curtain Call was his retirement album.
Okay, but...
And Encore, literally it's called Encore. He was like, hey, Curtain Call, I'm done, it's over. And he's like, oh, never mind, Encore.
No, Curtain Call came out after Encore.
It did?
Yeah, it came out in 2005.
Oh, dude, you're so right. You're so right. He came out with the Eminem show, and then it was the Encore, and then it was the Curtain Call. Curtain Call was supposed to be his last album. Mm-hmm. It was the greatest hits album, but the Curtain Call was supposed to be the end of it. I'm sorry, I got the timeline messed up.
So, even to that 2005, he's going to retire, 9-10 years after putting out his first major studio album, I guess?
Yeah, bro. He's already gone diamond twice. He's literally had endless... fame and controversy. Well, it's because he had endless fame and endless controversy. He was literally hooked on drugs to the point of where he almost died. You know, like he was probably just done with it. But then obviously he didn't. It took 4 years, but he came back.
All right, I don't know. I just want to get your take on that because I know there's songs in Relapse, Careful What You Wish For or whatever, that talk about him retiring or whatever. And I'm like, did people really think he was going to retire after that short of time?
Yeah. Like Curtain Call was supposed to be the end of it. And it definitely, and he talks about it a lot on Relapse. It was supposed to be the end, and then sure enough, 4 years later, he finally decided to, come out with an album, and he had been out of the game for so long that Relapse was supposed to be a double album, but then he ended up kind of like getting clean towards the end of it and scratching like part 2, but basically did like Relapse Refill, and then instead of doing like Relapse 2 or like a double album, he did Recovery, which came out a year later. It was like 2009 and 2010. But yeah, no, Curtain Call was supposed to be the end of it. He was supposed to be, he was calling his retirement. But that's not the first time that an artist has said they're retiring and then they come out with more music. But he at least took a 4-year hiatus. It's not like Justin Bieber where he only took like a year or 2 off and came out with another album.
Only it took off longer. All right, number 8.
Why? Why do you? Who? Bieber?
I still think his music is good, honestly.
Who? Bieber or him?
Who do you think?
Both?
No. No. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, he's not any worse than other people, but I don't want them around either.
That's what's up. All right, number 8.
Revival.
Number 8's Revival?
Yeah.
Guess what I have at number 8? Revival, yeah.
Jeez, dude.
Are we the same person?
So totally basic. So this is his 2017 album.
Yeah, pretty weak, honestly, going through.
Yeah, it is.
But it's better than Encore and Infinite somehow.
I think a lot of it had to do with the first song that came out for it was Walk on Water.
Yeah, that hurt.
And I've heard that song twice. I've heard an Eminem song twice.
I've heard it way more than that, dude. You're missing out. It's a good song.
No, I don't like it at all.
I agree with you. I don't like the song. It's not an easy song to listen to, but the lyrics and the message behind that song they really are a thing of beauty. Like, I really do appreciate what he's trying to get across in that song and the artwork.
Beyonce, I don't hate her, but I hate her part in that song. I hate it.
No, that's a really great opinion. I understand that you hate black women, so I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, all of them. Yes, all of them. And other races, too, that are different from my own.
Yeah.
/ genders, / nationalities, / religions, / political beliefs.
Yeah, dude.
Is that clear? Did I make that clear on that song?
Wait, so how do you feel about Beyonce, though?
She's good, yeah.
Yeah, she's great. No, but I understand. Yeah, that being the opening song was definitely super rocky. And then the album as a whole was heavily political. And then that's the other thing, too, is like, I don't really have a problem with the political parts of the album. I had a problem with the pop parts of the album. I
had a problem with... you want to go ahead?
Sorry, I'm really sorry. I didn't care for his song with Alicia Keys, Like Home. I didn't care for Tragic Endings with Skylar Grey. I didn't care with Nowhere Fast by Kehlani, and that's the thing. Alicia Keys, Skylar Grey, and Kehlani or whatever are all super talented female artists. I have no problem with them as artists, but those songs didn't turn out good. Like, to me, all of his songs to Rihanna, even if the radio hits, are way better than the songs with those people. And I Need a Doctor. He did I Need a Doctor with Skylar Grey. That song's way better. He did Twisted with Skylar Grey and Yellow Wolf, I believe, and that song's way better.
I actually like that song.
Yeah,
it's mainly not him.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's a great. Yeah, yes, both of those are right. Great song, and it's mostly not him. So I just think those songs didn't come out that great. I thought Bad Husband with Ex Ambassadors, who did a great job on Desperation, I believe.
Wicked Ways.
Wicked Ways. There you go. They did a great job on Wicked Ways on MMLP2, and that song didn't come out great on Revival here, and so I just feel like a lot of those kind of missed the mark. And then the song with Pink also didn't go over that great to me.
Pink,
So
Beyonce this, Kalani that.
yeah, all of those songs, and like "Won't Back Down" with Pink is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
Like that's such a great song. But this new song with Pink was not great. Not that I expected another "Won't Back Down." I understand they might want to do something different. It just didn't come out good. Pretty much all the songs that he had with female artists and the one song with ex ambassadors, to me, just missed the mark. And that's like 5 or 6 songs.
Honestly, I don't really see where, I guess, like, the politicalness is in there. But I really don't see how it's that much of a political album, especially by M standards, because he goes after pretty much every president anyway.
No, you're right. He went after Bush pretty heavy on.
Cheney.
Yeah, he went after Cheney, Clinton, and Bush pretty heavy on like the second, third, and fourth album, which I'm talking about MMLP1, Eminem Show, and Encore. But it's only here and there. It's not like super heavy. I mean, throughout this album, because whenever this album came out and before this album came out, he had the ciphers that had mentioned Trump a lot. And then I think Believe, Untouchable, Like Home, maybe Nowhere Fast. All of those songs were pretty political, and maybe not the whole song, but definitely like chunks of them would mention politics or our society, the state of our society, and stuff like that. And not that I have a problem with that. It just, they just weren't that great of songs.
Yeah, I agree. It's
to me, like We as Americans and stuff like that are better political songs and Mosh is a better political song than some of the songs that he was going for on this album.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot of better political songs. But as far as songs I do like on the album, because I actually really think a lot of the songs on the album are like amazing.
Yes.
But it's just it's the whole package. Chloroseptic is fucking awesome. Love that song.
And I love the remix to it too.
Yeah, remix is probably better, but I really like the original. Remind Me and Heat. I love the samples of what are the names? One of those is like the Mark Wahlberg sample from
Boogie Nights, and then Remind Me is I Love Rock and Roll sample.
That's right, yeah. And they're just hilarious. I love all of his like little ways he compares himself to like just I don't know the double entendres where he's like I think I'm a bust. I guess I'm just ahead of myself. I don't know, man.
Dude, on Remind Me where he does like I could hang my ego on that rack, big old tits, or like whatever. Like he does like 10 different boob analogies in Remind Me, and I think it's hilarious.
Chick who's sacked and so thick and sass to go.
Yes. Yeah,
she's like a lit cigarette because she's got a hot butt or whatever. Like just.
yeah, no doubt.
Oh god, dude, I love it. I actually really like Believe too.
Yes, I have Believe pulled up right now because I have a rap review for Believe.
Oh, hit me with it.
Okay, so this is a controversial rap review. I like the whole song, but he starts off with, I started from the bottom like a snowman, ground up like round chuck, still put hands on you. Staying wound up is how I spent time. Sucker free, confidence high, such a breeze when I pen rhymes. I got that air about me like wind chimes. I think that is such a great opening. And he got criticized for that opening by like some YouTube rap reviewer because he mentions it on Kamikaze.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That skit where he like mentions it, where he's like, I rhymed rhymes with chimes. It's like, no, I rhymed the whole fucking sentence, and he like redoes it in the skit.
Mm-hmm.
I like it in Believe. I love it, like in that song, and I get really pissed that somebody critiqued him for that because it really is like a good opening bar.
Yeah.
Sucker free, confidence high, such a breeze when I pen rhymes. I got that air about me like wind chimes. I don't know. I just love all of that. Used to have to scrape to get by. Now my community's gated and I made it, and my neighbors say hi. Like, I don't know. I love all of that.
It's such an awesome flow in the song.
Yes.
And the chorus is short, and he just gets like right back into it, and it's. I don't know, dude. It's like it's amazing. There's such like great songs on this album. I actually really like Castle as well, and in a rose, he like talks about um, rewinding time basically, and he goes back to the last verse in Castle. I love
Yeah,
that part too.
beautiful moment, dude. Great. That's probably my favorite moment on the album. I wouldn't say my favorite songs, but definitely favorite moment right there is like him, like bringing back that verse on the next song.
Framed is like a I don't like it as much
Relapse.
as
Oh,
the
dude, that's a
Relapse
great
songs,
song.
but
That's
I
a great
love
relapse.
how it just basically he's just telling a story and it's super fucked up and he's talking about killing people and just doing like really messed up shit and it all rhymes and it's all weird and he uses like weird words and I don't it's an awesome effing song like it's so good. I don't know if it's as good as some of the stuff on Relapse, but it's still like a phenomenal song.
Yeah, Framed is the ultimate like relapse tribute. I feel like that was like the song that was going to be on like Relapse 2 and he like never made it and then he like redid it for this album.
Yeah, and we got to talk about this is probably the I guess the trilogy of Relapse, Recovery, and Revival.
Yep.
Did you ever get the feeling that that's actually a trilogy though? Because I don't know if I really see the
Yes.
connection.
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, only because he made it a connection. I see the connection between relapse and recovery and revival. To me, he just kind of forced in there. Like he didn't have to make MMLP2. He didn't have to make revival, but he did. And I feel like he did that on purpose, and I feel like they both worked. Now, since you just brought it up, how would you rank those three albums? Relapse, Recovery, Revival. What's the best? What's the worst?
Well, I mean
Are we gonna save that for later? You want to
it's
save
gonna
that?
be obvious based on our list.
Okay, we'll save it for later.
Um, Another song I want to give a shout out to is I don't think it's the best, but I just in your head I like that
Whoa, that's a good song. Yeah, good sample.
a lot because I actually like the zombie song by the Cranberries
Yep.
by itself, and it's just awesome that he sampled it and I don't know, made it something good. And it's like the last. I'm pretty sure it was the last thing that she ever did because I'm pretty sure she died like a couple of months after this album came out. Whoever the lead singer of the Cranberries is. Um, yeah, more on the negative side. Yeah, it's just you're right. I mean the tragic endings, the Nowhere Fast, the Need Me. It's just they're just not good. Just too poppy. How do you feel about River with Ed Sheeran?
So that's going to be kind of brought up by me later in a later question I was going to ask for you. But I honestly like it's one of my favorite radio hits by him. I wouldn't say it's like a favorite. It's not a favorite song of all time, but definitely like in terms of like his radio generic hits, it's up there. I think it's a pretty damn good song because Eminem and Ed Sheeran are like some of the best, I guess, mainstream artists there are in terms of like writing their own music, making their own songs,
Mm-hmm.
and just being successful at it. Like they're both really fucking good. And to put them on a song together is like a big deal. And I feel like the expectations are through the roof and they could probably never live up to it. And I still think they made a really good song. And it's really basic, but like, I feel like enough time has passed now that when I go back and listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a banger.
I agree. Yeah, and honestly, I haven't really listened to that much, but I think that's more because of just their radio effect. Honestly, just because I've heard it. It's like it's on at the gym all the time for some reason, which I never
Really?
understood why because it's not a workout song. I guess that's
Yeah.
just me. I don't know. Maybe she's crazy. So least favorite song and most favorite song in this album. I'm gonna go with "Offended" is my favorite song.
Oh, dude, fuck you. It's my favorite song.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
So good, dude.
I
So
don't know
many
what you can say
bars.
about it. Yeah, it's
So
nothing
many
but bars,
bars.
dude. And it's got an amazing chorus too, where it's like, "Nobody likes me, everybody hates me.
Yeah.
I want
Go
to
and
go eat
eat
some
some
worms."
worms.
And it's like super quick, and then he just goes right back into it, and it's like over 5 minutes of just him laying into people. And I love that the song is called "Offended," and he just offends some more people in the song itself.
Yeah,
It's good
that's
stuff.
the beauty of it. I want to give you a quick rap review. Again, still from Believe, because I was going to switch over to Offended because that was my favorite song. I was going to give like a rap review of Offended, which is also your favorite song because, again, so many bars. I love that song. But on Believe, he was like, man, I know, verse 2, he's like, man, I know sometimes these thoughts can be harsh and cold as ice. To me, they're just ink blots. I'm just feeling them like slingshots and so precise. So you might want to think it over twice, or you retards can roll the dice, but beef will cost you your career, because even my cheap shots are overpriced. And I'm just like, like, oh, dude, it's just so good. But, and then, anyway, so, what's your least favorite song on?
Walk on Water. I mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I again listened to it twice. I just cannot stand Beyonce's part. I'd rather listen to the other songs that are maybe worse. But I just I guess the other songs are just bad. Whereas I feel like Walk on Water gets really good and then it goes really, really bad when Beyonce comes on and just goes back and forth. But I'm also racist and sexist, so that might be a factor. I'm not sure.
No doubt, no doubt.
Never can tell these days.
So let's see here. I looked up Offended, and basically the genius annotation of the song is reminiscing on a career plagued by controversy. Eminem doesn't feel remotely sorry for those he offended over the years. Likewise, with other songs in revival, this song takes aim at Donald Trump, the President of the United States. The whole chorus is sung in the tone of Nobody Likes Me, Guess I'll Go Eat Worms, the children's song, again insinuating that those who get offended need to grow up. At the end of the third verse, M sees himself taking aim at the record books and beating his previous record of spitting 6.5 words per second, and the fastest part of Rap God by spitting 6.7 words per second here in this song. In the background of the part of the verse, Flight of the Bumblebee, a song known for its beat, begins to play in the background. So basically, on that third verse of this song, he raps faster than he does in Rap God, which is part of why I love this song, because it's like so many bars, and then like the third verse, the final verse, where you think he's going to be like slowing down or he's run out of stuff to say, he raps even faster, which I think is epic.
I can't believe that, honestly. That's insane.
Yeah, dude, I love this song.
A couple of shout-outs. I like when he says, like, Ray Rice when he FaceTimes. In reference to Ray Rice hitting women. Just literally has no boundaries, which is like why I love his music. It's funny, and I don't know. It's messed up, but it's funny. What was the one? Oh yeah, Wouldn't Catch a Body If It Fainted. That's like a really small part of the song, but I don't know. It's just that one. Like, I just love that one line where it's like, you wouldn't catch a body if it fainted, wouldn't take a bobby pin and wave it.
Yep.
Basically talking about like you're a bitch because you're talking about like, you know, waving a blade, but you won't even wave like a bobby pin at me. So it's just, and I guess catching a body is he's referencing killing somebody, and yeah. So
I love the whole flow of verse too. He's like, these grumps and hard snares bring out the worst in me, like Justin Ross Harris at a nursery, going ham at a candy yam or nanny cam. I'm getting handies with the zannies and the caddy armrest. I'm imagining objects, so I'm battening coplets from a daddy long leg. In a hammock track, got the panoramic camera Xanax, banana hammock, and a Santa hat. I'm smelling like a damn mechanic. With a chick that looks like Janet Jackson with a Spanish accent. Twice her age and I'm acting half it. Ha, grow up, nah. Not that I know of, y'all. Basement just got a freaking overhaul, got a stripper pole installed. Start rolling on those Kalana pins like a bowling ball. Like an overdose on twice the ratio of a propofol. Go through with no withdrawal, like a fellatio, giving facial to an interracial blow-up doll, Rachel Dolezal. Oh, God, dude, like...
That's another phenomenal. The Kalana pin's like a bowling ball. That's amazing.
It's so great. You're so appalled, M. So is my manager. Bitch, I'm amateur. Fuck a pro career. Coast is clear, but nowhere to go from here. Ain't nobody close, so don't compare. There ain't nowhere near. I'm over here. My competition can't see me because I don't own a mirror. I fucking love that, dude. Like, he just says all these bars that you can't keep up with that all pretty much make sense.
It's not even the speed. It's just the combination, like the zannies, and like just the combination of words he uses. Just it breaks my mouth. Like, I can't even think that fast.
Yeah,
or
dude.
in that way. It's just they're all tongue twisters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm
All
gonna
right, so
go
you
ahead.
said we both said that favorite song is Offended. You said least favorite song is Walk on Water.
Yeah.
I would say my least favorite song is
There's a few.
yeah, dude. It's a toss up for me between Like Home, Bad Husband, and Tragic Endings. And the only reason why I say that is because I literally skip all three of those before they come on. Like I don't even give them a chance anymore. Like I'm so over them.
Mm.
So yeah, it's between those three. But Offended is great. And so I love Offended. My favorite. I love Offended. I appreciate Castle and a Rose for the artistic beauty, but like honestly, I don't give a fuck. Uh, I would say like my favorite bangers are like in this order: Offended, Heat, Framed, Remind Me. Well, maybe not in this order. Framed. I like Remind Me, River, Untouchable, Chloroplastic, and Believe. Like so I kind of got out of order at the end, but like I like all of those songs, and then everything else is kind of whatever.
I agree. All right, number 7.
Oh God, what if we agree, dude? I feel like we're gonna agree. Like we said, we're not gonna agree on
I
everything.
know
But
our number 1s are off, but I'm starting to wonder if we
if
just thought
everything
the same
else,
exact way all the way through.
probably.
Number 7, Slim Shady LP.
Oh no, we're okay. We're good here. We're off.
All right, cool. Yeah, dude, I'm surprised at how high this album is. Initially, I thought it would go right above Infinite. But it turns out it's actually got some gems on there. I mean, obviously it has My Name Is, which is like Eminem's breakout song, basically.
Yep.
And it's got a lot of great lines in it. It's actually like a really good song. It's been overplayed into the effing ground. Like oh God, there's so many other good songs on there that I just wish got more play. Guilty Conscience, love the idea of the song. It's just Eminem basically and Dre playing three different guys' conscience as they interact with scenarios. Like one guy's poor and he wants to rob a liquor store, and they basically talk him out of it. And then another guy, he's like gonna sleep with this girl who's like underage or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, don't do that" or whatever. It's like,
Yo, look at her bush. Has it got
it's
hair?
got hair. Like Eminem's like the bad conscience, and I guess Dre's more towards the good side. And then the last guy's like Grady, and he goes home to his wife with another man, and it's like, wait, calm down, start breathing. He's like, hold up, you just caught this
Fuck
big
that.
sheep.
You just caught this big sheep.
Probably an
Yeah, worse.
explanation for
She's at
that.
home with some dude trying to get off.
He's like,
Fuck,
what? She
slit their
tripped, fell,
throat.
and
Cut this
slid.
bitch's head off.
Tripped, fell, and slid on his
Head on his
dick or whatever.
dick.
Yeah, great song. I just love how creative that is, and how. I mean, again, it's like a really cool music video, but it's an awesome song. A lot of gems on the album, honestly, that I guess I honestly just discovered them recently, but I love My Fault.
Yep.
And Just Don't Give a Fuck and Still Don't Give a Fuck are actually like
Great.
I actually really like those songs. And when we saw them in concert, I honestly didn't know those songs that well, and I kind of regret it because he played them, and they were freaking amazing. I love when he's talking about it's like pull up in a limo, roll down the window, like shot my demo at gunpoint. Like I don't know, I love that line. Like he's gonna sell his demo at gunpoint, and he has the amazing line where he's like, "You wouldn't sell two copies if you pressed a double
That's a double album.
As the World Turns, love that
Great
song
song.
too. Just tells us stupid story about. I don't even know what it's about. It's like basically about him getting trapped into having sex with a fat chick and then whipping his dick out and everything being okay. So if that's your jam, yeah, it's definitely there.
I think that comes up in there.
Yeah, dude, tell me about it. Bar Mitzvahs, it's incredible. Honestly, the disappointment for me on this album comes from Bad Meets Evil because A, that's a sick name. B, Royce is sick. C, A and B. No, C, Eminem and Royce always deliver on like a good song.
Okay.
But I feel like this isn't that. Like this is the exception to that because the song is just weird. It's just not what I want. Honestly, it's just it starts out in like this Western way. I don't really know why it starts out that way. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, let me tell you about this long time ago or whatever. It's like, shut the hell up. '97 Bonnie and Clyde, basically a prequel to Kim, where he kills his wife, and it's super messed up, but he does it in a way he's talking to his child. I like that song.
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously, my favorite song on the album is Role Model.
Ah, you bastard.
Yeah, I know. Man, there's just certain things I'm like, yeah, we're gonna agree on that and this and that, because like Role Model, phenomenal song. Favorite line in the entire album is, and one of my favorite lines, period, like top 10 easily, is like, every girl I've ever gone out with has gone les. Love that line, dude. I remember I was with Peter, Juice God. He was.
True.
We were in a room with like a couple of different girls and like some of their friends, so it was a crowd I didn't really know, and he had just gotten into Eminem, obviously, because we were hanging out, and like I don't really go 5 minutes without talking about Eminem. So I was like, yeah, let me borrow some. Like I had ripped some music for him, and I started with a Slim Shady LP, obviously, and he loved it. And so he was playing in the background or whatever, I guess just while people were talking, and we were doing the lines back and forth, and I got to the one where I said, every girl I've ever gone out with has gone les. And I remember it just being such a weird, like, it was so awkward for everyone else in the room, because they were like, is he being serious? Like, why did he say that? Like, it was such a weird thing. And I'm like, I was rapping the song, but it just didn't come out at the right time. Anyway, love that song, and maybe love it even more for that moment. But yeah, great album.
It is a great
I
album.
guess least favorite song is Bad Meets Evil. Then I don't know if I ever said that. But
What's your favorite? Role Model?
Role Model.
Role Model, and then Bad Meets Evil. So yeah, I'll go more in depth in this album a little later based on where I have it in my ranking, but I do agree with you. My favorite song is Role Model. I just think it's funny. It's got great bars. I love everything about that song. The album as a whole is just kind of a well put together album. You know, his first three albums were very heavy. When I say first three, I mean Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, and Eminem Show, are very heavy on storytelling and kind of what's happening in his life and what's already happened in his life. Because this story kind of talks about the Slim Shady LP talks a little bit about his adolescence, especially in songs like Brain Damage, If I Had, stuff like that. And so, and Rock Bottom. Pretty much all of them. But anyway. Rock Bottom. I went back and listened to this album, and I was like, man, like, it's kind of corny, but like, I really like this album as a whole, so I had it ranked higher than you did. And some of it might be for nostalgia, but also just like some of the beats, just the lyrics and the storytelling on this album really just like make it for me. Because it's just a little bit more relatable, and you can just tell he's really real, he's vulnerable, you know, and I feel like I've been listening to him spitting bars for so long that hearing him tell stories that have bars in them is kind of refreshing. I would say my favorite song is Role Model. Least favorite song is probably... Ooh, it's so tough. And I was going to say the skits on this album are actually really efficient too, because
Phenomenal.
they're either... Yeah, the skits on the album are either efficient or they're funny or both. Like, I think the skits are great.
Oh yeah, come on everybody, get down tonight.
Down tonight, yeah. That's a great song. Least favorite song, dude, that's really tough. I would say my least favorite song is maybe I'm Shady.
Yeah, see, I literally erased that and wrote Bad Meets Evil.
Yeah. I would almost say 97 Bonnie and Clyde, but it's just like, to me, it's the prequel to Kim. Like, it's 97 Bonnie and Clyde is like the softer version of Kim.
Basically, yeah. It's a poor man's version of that song. Also, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Brain Damage. I didn't mention that song. But ever since the day I was born, drugs used the day I was on. There's a lot of great like storytelling on the album, and it's all just so messed up and stupid. It's like, teacher, quick, I need a naked nurse. My stomach, it feels like an appendix is about to burst. It's like, what are you saying, your leg? I thought your tummy. He's like, oh, it is, but I also got a bum knee.
Bum knee.
I don't know. It's hilarious. So what's your seventh?
My seventh is actually Do you want to guess?
If it's not Slim
Slim
Shady.
Shady LP. It's gotta be something, right?
Twist. It's nothing. Kamikaze.
Nah, it's Relapse.
Really, dude? What?
Oh,
What the hell is
what?
wrong with you, dude?
Do we have
Relapse that low?
do we have beef?
Ain't got no respect for Relapse.
Real quick, since we already passed Revival, I was gonna do a rap review on Revival as well, or on Heat from Revival. Right at the beginning, he's like, "Lady, you remind me of my raps on that last Relapse shit because you got an astic as a max sense, 2 ass cheek implants. Call that an asset because you could set a glass on it and it's massive." Yeah, it just keeps going.
Meet her like a taxi. Love that one.
Yeah. I gotta meet her like a taxi, exactly. I love affair in the backseat. Sorry if I'm being graphic, but I'm as stiff as a statue you set on a shelf. Like I'm a bus man, I'm just getting ahead of myself.
So good, dude. It's so good.
Got me under your control and your spell. Want to wrap you up and put you in a bow like an arrow. Grab you by the meow. Hope it's not a problem. In fact, the only thing I agree on with Donald is that. So when I put in this palm on your cat, don't snap. It's supposed to get grabbed. Why do you think they call it a snack? I think that is hilarious.
Dude, that is hilarious, and it's so accurate and true.
Let's see.
No one's ever made that connection before. I think that's, I don't know. He makes a lot of connections where it's like, why has no one ever said that before? You know, it's like right there.
Yeah, you would think. Let's see. There's like a third one. Like third verse, but I can't find it. Okay, yeah. So he's like, "I love your personality. Come on, little mama. You're hot enough to melt Rick's beat. Come on, jump in the water. I bet you get your self-esteem from your persona with the nasty max girl. Your body is lit. You're striking. I'm a gas girl. You're just gonna have to put them other chumps on the back burner. You got buns. I got Asperger's." You just let me rest my head between that set of D's while I shred MCs like cheddar cheese. Like, oh, God.
Said my dick is an apple, told me put it inside
her. Dude, that's genius, dude. That's the end of the second verse. And he's like, "That's just the thoroughbred in me. Ain't a better breed. My dog thinks so, too. Look at my pedigree. Ma, the world is what I think of you. I think you're divine, so I might swing on you." Divine, like fucking Tarzan. So I might swing on you. I'm just kidding, girl. I wouldn't lift a finger to it unless it's the middle one to finger you. Such a great set of stuff there. So anyway, we're on to my number 7, Relapse. Again, I love this album. This album has a lot of history with us, but at the same time, like, this album kind of sucks. So that's why I have it at number 7. Again, another heavy drug-induced album. This album actually has one of my favorite skits in the opening skit, which is Dr. West, where he's like, "Hey, Doc, like, I'm about to get out." And the doc's like, "Oh, come on, man, do more drugs and alcohol. Like, fuck it, you know." And he's like, "Marshall, bro.
Take the edge off. Oh, come on, have a
Yeah. And also, the other thing about this album is shout out to 3 a.m. because 3 a.m. it's either 3 a.m. or Lose Yourself were like the first Eminem songs I ever heard, because I was definitely super late to listening to Eminem. I feel like I heard the real Slim Shady a ton at like bowling alleys and stuff, but I never knew what I was listening to. The first conscious time that I was listening to Eminem was either Lose Yourself on the bus or 3 a.m. with this guy that I used to play basketball with. So I really can't remember.
It was Without Me, I think, for me.
Or Without Me, yeah. But again, that was another song that I heard on the radio and I just wasn't paying attention to.
I think I saw like an edited version of that on MTV back in the day, like back when it was like just music videos on MTV. I think that was literally my first exposure to it, because I remember it being absolutely wild. What's going on?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And when it comes to Relapse, the first half of the album, I'm really not that crazy about. Like, 3 a.m.'s okay. I really don't care for, even though they're funny, like, they have their moments, like, and the lyrics are decent, I'm just really not that crazy about My Mom Insane.
Whoa.
Hang on. My Mom, Insane, Bagpipes from Baghdad, or Hello. I just don't really think any of those songs are that great.
Yeah, I was
I'm
born
not,
with a dick in my brain, fucked in the
the
head.
bed, yeah. Okay. My stepfather said that I sucked in the bed. Like, is that really a line that I want to be saying?
Yes, it is. Because then you get all
No,
the
okay.
heads turned.
Yeah. And then for some reason I like Same Song and Dance, which I don't know why, because it's like
amazing.
a song about him. It's a song about him raping 3 different women.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then We Made You is not that great in terms of radio singles, but it's got a great music video because he has Lisa Ann, the porn star, paying Sarah Palin, which was like one of her biggest, like, that was like a really big deal for her, the porn star. Like, she had played, Lisa Ann had played Sarah Palin in like an adult porn and also played Sarah Palin in Eminem's music video. So it was just like back to back, like huge money making deals for her.
Who is singing the chorus of We Made You? It's like Jessica Simpson singing the chorus, and it's not. But who is it?
It's really not?
No.
It's either her or it's like somebody else that just doesn't get credited because they suck. I don't know, because I don't like it. I'll tell you that.
Lindsay, please come back to Seeing Men. Samantha's a 2. You're practically
a 10.
Come on, dude. What are you not getting about this album? Let me ask you something though. We didn't talk about this, but we definitely need to. Do we count? Where does Relapse Refill come into the mix? Is that part of Relapse?
Yeah, it's all the same.
So, well, then I really don't understand why. I mean, that's a pretty stacked album.
How? It's not.
It's got a lot of great songs on it.
It's not.
Yeah, I agree. It is good.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know, man.
Hang on, I'm getting there. Hang on. Let me look up this song. A love/hate letter to pop culture in the style of the 2000 smash hit single "The Real Slim Shady." We Made You provides comic relief from the serial killer theme of 2009's Relapse LP. With the hook, Eminem is showing that popular celebrities aren't even better than their fans. This gives him a reason to tear the reputations apart. They don't deserve to be admired too much. We Made You follows Same Song and Dance on the album with the sequence M could be implying the sexual violence of alter ego Slim Shady on the previous song. What? Okay. What doesn't say who sings the fucking chorus?
Exactly. It's unlisted. No one's credited.
It says chorus. Charmaine, Tripp, and Eminem. So the chorus is Charmaine, Tripp.
I guess. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's a no-namer. So anyway, I'm on. Let me get on Relapse Refill just to make sure that I'm on the right set of songs here because it's all the same stuff. So I'm not crazy about We Made You. I'm not crazy about Medicine Ball. Stay Wide Awake I like, but it's really fucked up. Old Time's Sake is pretty good. Must Be the Ganja is also pretty good, but it's kind of fucked up. Deja Vu's whatever. Crack a Bottle, honestly, I've heard so many times, it's kind of whatever. Underground is also whatever. So is Hell Breaks Loose, Buffalo Bill, and Taking My Ball, and Music Box. Like, so many of these songs have, like, super awesome beats. Because, again, like Encore, this album's produced by Dre. So, like, a lot of the beats are great. But I'm just not crazy about some of the lyrics, some of the flows on this whole project.
My prosthetic arm is crushing your hard taco. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that does nothing for me. Right?
That does everything for me.
Yeah, well, that's where we differ. So I already forgot.
Me in ways that you never could.
So for this,
he says about the fever letters.
God. So for this album, for some reason,
I'm afraid my orgasm has left me a
cripple. Yeah, for some reason, Forever isn't. Oh yeah, here it is. Forever is listed. Okay.
Again, like one of the best songs maybe ever made.
So excluding Forever, because yeah, it's an obvious favorite, but I feel like it's only one verse from M, and they just kind of put it on here as part of Refill. So let's just forget Forever, because it's again an easy favorite.
Forever.
Nice. I would say my favorite song from the album is a toss-up between 3 a.m. and My Darling.
Yes, dude. You sold your soul to me, and you never mind. You remember that one night. You pray to God you anything for a record and Grace signed you.
But you could also, that's the other problem is with this album, is you could throw in like Beautiful and Same Song and Dance in there for some reason, because I've always fucked with those songs. But yeah, those for sure. And then my least favorite would have to be, God, My Mom. Honestly, I don't like My Mom.
What about Bagpipes from Baghdad?
It's second least favorite. It was a toss-up between My Mom and Bagpipes. Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate the choice.
Yeah. They're
All
both
right.
kind of annoying.
Moving
So
along.
that was number 7.
Number 6, Kamikaze.
Wow, dude, we definitely differ. Wow.
Really?
You put hang on, what did you put at 7? Slim Shady LP?
Yeah.
And I put Relapse, and so number 6, you put Kamikaze.
Yep. This is his newest album, came out in 2018. It's technically 12 songs, but there's 2 skits on there, so there's 10 songs.
Fire.
That's really the only problem I have with the album, is that it's only 10 songs and it holds up against, and M's not, I guess, like most artists, especially these days, where it's like they put out an album and it has like 10, 12 songs. Like most of his albums have like 17, 18, 20 songs, and then they'll have like a bonus disc. So like he always packs in a lot into his albums. But like this is the problem with me in this album, is just it's not enough. But I love everything that's there pretty much. And I love Ringer, I love Greatest, I love Lucky You. You actually turned me around to normal with your sarcasm and ridiculousness.
Of course.
There's that one guy who's like, dude, the song sucks, and you're like, I'm gonna argue with you, but actually, I'm legitimately arguing with you. So I convinced myself. Stepping Stone, I love the story of it. Not Alike, it's awesome. I just love how he just goes right at people, and the song just sort of turns into a new gear, and he just starts shitting on everyone. Shout out to Royce in that. I love when he says, probably rob these little dudes at fist point. Love that line. I don't know why. That's just such a unique way to call someone a bitch. I just enjoy it.
Yes. Great song.
I always get this wrong. Obviously, I love Kamikaze and Fall.
No, you don't. You hate Fall.
No, I don't really mind. I don't like the chorus, but I actually like the song. So
Yeah.
Hey, it's my turn to talk. Hey, no offense. I think Good Guy is the song I like. I like Good Guy. I don't like Nice Guy. I always get those confused.
Yep.
But yeah, and they both have the same girl in them, but for some reason she's way more annoying in Nice Guy.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to begin, or where to start, or where to even go. But the album's amazing. Isn't Venom technically a part of this album too?
Yep.
Yeah. Love that song. Love the movie even more.
No, you don't.
Dude, it's hilarious. We were literally laughing within seconds of it starting.
Yeah, it is a great opening.
I do hate how he's like marketed. Eminem is marketed in that movie, but he's literally the outro song. I don't know. I just kind of hated that. I wish it was actually a part of the movie. But I don't know. That's not important, I guess. You got any rap reviews for me on this one?
Yeah, I got one for Venom because the chorus drives me nuts. Literally, the chorus is, Venom, I got that adrenaline momentum, and I know I'm not knowing when I'm ever going to slow up, and I'm ready to slap at any moment. I'm thinking time to get him, and they know what I hit him, and yeah, I can't stand all that. They ain't going to know what hit him when they get bit with the venom. I got that adrenaline momentum, and I'm not knowing when I'm ever going to slow up, and I'm ready to snap at any moment. I'm thinking it's time to go get him, and they ain't going to know what hit him when I'm going to go pet the venom. I don't like any of that on Venom. But it is a great song. I don't know how to describe it. Like, the bars are good. Even the chorus is good. I just don't like the way it sounds. I don't like, he literally ends every line in M, like M, like, I just don't like it.
I think it's a great song. I agree.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm glad you've gotten really good at doing that shit. I'm glad you got good at doing that Ryan Money sarcastic asshole shit. That's good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm really good at telling when you don't care about something.
You said what?
So I'm really good about telling when you don't care about something, but I can't take directions. What I was
Let's
gonna
see.
say, the Ringer.
Such a great song.
If I press the issue just to get the anger out, Full Magazine could take
They could take
Staples out.
Staples out.
I mean, it's just like I don't know. I'm so
And that's a
overwhelmed.
shout out. That's a shout out to Vince Staples too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Put that one together.
Yep. So yeah, he's talking. Yeah, it's a play on words between that line and Vince Staples. Because Vince Staples has like criticized him, and whenever he dropped that line, even Vince Staples was like, "Yo, good line." Like he appreciated it.
What song is he making fun of when he says so? Finger bang and chicken wing, MGK, Iggy Zay, Lil Pump, Lil Xan,
Imitate Lil Wayne. Yeah, that's the Ringer.
No, what song is he making fun of? He's making fun of some flow.
Oh yeah, it'll probably say specifically if I rap genius it, but he's basically just making fun of like all new rappers. He's making fun of like Migos and Lil Pump and like people like that.
Everybody goes to this choppy flow. Everybody copies it.
Yep.
And he says like, I don't have any faith in your writers. I don't believe in ghosts. I love that line. Obviously a reference to Ghost Riders. And I honestly don't understand. Someone asked me the other day, is like, why is that such a big insult that someone else writes your music? And I'm like, what are you even talking about? What are you saying? What are you trying to get at? I don't even know what analogy to throw at you to make you understand that. Like, why is it a big deal if you don't write your own music? Because your entire career and like the way you're shit talking someone and the way you make all your money is based off of you just rapping, basically. And what does rap come down to? It comes down to your performance and what you have to say. And if you're not coming up with what you have to say, then you're just doing the performance part. So you're working like half as hard, and you don't have as much to. I guess it just doesn't add up, Like I don't get why anyone would think that way.
Because people don't care. They don't care where they get their content from, as long as it's good. They don't care about the artistic creativity of it. Simple-minded. Drake's the greatest. But yeah, so some of the lyrics that you're kind of talking about here, like I love the lyrics that he has before the finger bang, chicken wang, all that stuff. He says, "Bitch, I got the club on smash like a nightstick. Turned down for what? I ain't loud enough. Not turn the volume up because I don't know how I'm gonna get your mouth to shut. Now, when it doesn't matter what caliber I spit at, I bet $100,000 she'll turn around and just be like, man, how the fuck is Sourpuss gonna get mad at it just because his album sucks? Now he wants to take it out on us. Ooh." But last week, an ex-fan mailed me a copy of the Mathers LP to tell me to study and help me get back to myself and she'll love me. Ooh. I mailed the bitch back and said if I did that, I'd just be like everyone else in the fucking industry, especially an effing recovery clone of me. And it's just like, oh. So finger bang, chicken wing, EGK, Igazay, Lil Pump, Lil Xan, imitate Lil Wayne. I should everybody at the game pick a name. Oh, God. I'm fed up with being humble, and rumor is I'm hungry. I'm sure you heard rumblings. I heard you in a rumble like an empty stomach. I heard you mumbling, but it's jumbled and mumbo jumbo. Like, all of that shit is so good.
Happy.
That's what it is. In these lines, I knew it. I already forgot. So in the lines where he says finger bang, chicken wing, MGK, Igazay, Lil Pump, Lil Xan, imitate Lil Wayne. In these lines, M imitates the flow of Lil Pump's 2017 hit Gucci Gang.
That's what it is. Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
Yeah, Gucci Gang, yep. Which is part of mumble rap.
Mumble rap, yeah. And we should have said, like, this album is a response to, I guess, everyone's hatred of Revival and how much they thought it sucked. That's why I guess he turned around the album so quickly. Because he turned it around in, like, 8 months or something, which is very short for him. But, I mean, it is a short album. So, I don't know. I guess that's worth mentioning. I thought there was going to be something else I was going to say. I don't know. There's just, like, songs like The Ringer and, like, Greatest and Not Alike. They just have they pack so much good stuff in there. And I just love how he goes after every single person. Like, he goes after MGK. It obviously sparked the whole Rap Devil thing, where he made fun of him by making a song. and then he just basically got destroyed by Killshot, and now he's trying to like reawaken the beef, basically. And I don't think it's working, but yeah, I don't know. Album's great. I just wish it was longer. That's pretty much the gist of it. That's all I got.
So I guess if you walk into BK, you expect a Whopper. You can order a quarter pounder when you go to McDonald's, but if you're looking to get a porterhouse, you better go get Revival. But y'all are acting like I try to serve you up a slider. Maybe the vocals should have been auto-tuned and you would have bought it. But I'm saying no longer I got it because you missed a line and never caught it because it went over your head because you're stupid to get it because you're mentally retarded but pretend to be the smartest with your expertise and knowledge, but you'll never be an artist. And I'm harder on myself than you could ever be regardless. What I'll never be is flawless, and all I'll be is honest. Even when I'm gone, they're going to say I brought it. Even in my 40s, like a fucking alcoholic. Like 40 ounces with a bottle full of malt liquor, but I couldn't bottle this shit any longer. So, like, just keeping the bottle flow in there. The fact that I'm going to hit my bottom if I don't pull myself out the jaws to defeat, rise to my feet. I don't see why y'all even started with me. I got beefs. I get in beefs, my enemies die. I don't cease fire till at least all are deceased. Like, ugh. On me
So
side,
sick, dude.
Dude, it's so good. Like so many lines about bottles and liquor and like people dying and like he doesn't cease fire until all are deceased. Like just trying to get all of that out is just a tongue twister. On me side, never be caught slipping. Now you see why I don't sleep, not even a wink. I don't blink. I don't doze off. I don't even nod to the beats. I don't even close my fucking eyes when I sneeze. Like what?
So bad, dude. Give me chills. I want to give one last shout out on the album on Stepping Stone. I really like this line. Went from raining cats and dogs in this bitch to tiny drops full of drips, and by the time your rain is over, you'll hardly be missed.
Jesus. Bars.
In this next verse, bars. I don't know if I ever gave. Yeah, Not Like's my favorite song, and then Nice Guy is obviously my least favorite song.
Not Alike is the favorite.
Yeah.
That's an interesting pick.
Ringer's like right there. I don't know. Like if you put a gun to my head, I probably couldn't pick. But
what about Normal?
Normal's like the most underrated song ever. What does he say? He's like, "You're the apple of my eye, so shut your pie hole."
Yeah. You love saying that
you fucking die.
You die. So basically, you like being romantic and dark at the same time.
Yeah, I like really like Native Americans believe that pelts and leathers release.
It's a couple diaper bags I made for Faith Hill. Alright, well, we're still on number 6 and we're an hour and a half in.
Yeah, we might have to speed this up or something.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to take our time here. So my number 6 is The Eminem Show.
Wow.
Are you blown away by that?
I am, actually. Wow.
I was too. It took me a long time, but I had to trust my feelings. I had to trust my feelings when I made this ranking. Because the only... What?
I don't know. It's just like, it took a long time, but I had to trust my feelings.
I had to trust my feelings. I had to really get into my sexuality to decide on this album. And really the biggest problem I have with this album is this was kind of the height of his popularity. And to me, all of his albums after this, like he was already mainstream. So what I'm trying to say is like, to me, this is like his most mainstream album to date. Mm-hmm. And the whole album to me is just very mainstream. I don't know how else to say it. Like I know you can sit there and say Recovery is and MMLP2 and some of these, you know, even comic, like he was already established. I don't know. I just something about this album that rubs me the wrong way. Considering how great it is, I understand it's a diamond album, height of his popularity, but me being the M fan that I am, like this album just has never really sat great with me, mm-hmm. especially since I've listened to it so many times. And it just feels really safe. And all the songs are honestly great, but like I could literally go without listening to this album and I would be fine. The songs that I go back and listen to on this album are Superman, maybe Till I Collapse, but I have to be in the right mood.
Till I Collapse is like one of the best workout songs ever.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It has to be like Superman, Till I Collapse, Maybe Drips, and that's about it.
Drips.
Yeah,
Classic.
classic because it's hilarious and it's just a good song. But everything after that, still great songs, but I could just kind of live without. And so that's just kind of how I feel about that album. Favorite song on the album, easily Superman, because I used to have that whole song memorized and I listen to it all the time, still to this day. Least favorite song is probably Haley's song, just because he's singing.
Okay then.
I think that one's actually My Dad's Gone Crazy, the one
Oh,
that
my
you're.
bad.
But that's actually got some really good lyrics, but that part's really annoying. The part that you just did, I understand that. I have a problem with that as well. But Haley's song is where he's like, "Yeah, I feel like singing, my baby girl," and he just like screams about like Haley, and yeah, I don't know. It's
I feel
kind
like
of
Sing for the Moment, because that was like one of my favorite songs at one point.
yeah, great song. Another shout out to that song. Love the Aerosmith cover because actually that's my favorite Aerosmith song. It samples "Dream On," and that's my favorite song by Aerosmith. Which I guess is kind of difficult for me because since that's my favorite Aerosmith song, it almost doesn't sound right coming from Eminem, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But it's okay because Eminem's obviously my favorite artist. So like of all his covers, it's like of all his classic rock covers, it's probably not my favorite classic rock cover that he's done. Just because I like the original song so much. But still a great song. So shout out to that song. And I like the message behind it. There's a lot of good lyrics in there.
What
Good
is your
story.
favorite cover?
Oh,
Rock
God.
song?
That's so tough. I would say, honestly, I feel like both of them are off of MMLP2, to believe it or not. Both of my favorite rock songs that he does are on MMLP2 that I can think of right now. And those are Rhyme or Reason or So Far.
True.
Both of those are covers of classic rock songs. And to me, both of those are amazing.
Sing for the Moment was one of my favorite songs for the longest time, honestly.
Great song?
Yeah, Sing for the Moment. I remember doing some class project where you had to take a song and explain it or whatever, and be able to apply it to. I don't even remember. It was like apply it to some like Shakespeare character or something. And I picked Dream On because obviously it didn't have I wanted to pick Sing for the Moment, but it didn't have the cussing, so I went with that one. But then I remember the teacher going, "No, just pick like Sing for the Moment. That's like a better song anyway." And I was just like, "How do you freaking know that?" But I don't know if you're bullshitting me or whatever. But respect. I also really like Soldier.
I do too.
But it is, it's not like super deep. It doesn't really have like a bunch of double entendres. It's another really great workout song, honestly.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's all I got to throw out on that one. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for sharing, Brian. Number 5, Relapse.
Wait, hang on. Yep, yeah, okay, Relapse. Yep, 5, Relapse. Really?
Yeah. Basically the only CD I had when I first got a car. Literally just listened to that pretty much for like 9 months or something, like the entire school year. Just listened to that Relapse album nonstop. Is there anything I want to say that hasn't already been said? Yeah, there must be because you just don't respect that album.
Oh yeah, okay.
Love Saving Song and Dance. I actually really like Stay Wide Awake as well. I don't know why you're hating on it. I love it. Must Be the Ganja, where he's describing the model to make the place where they dump the bodies. Like the way he says that flow, where he's talking about.
All of it's sick, dude. All of the wordplay and the flow is sick. The beats are sick, but it's just like there's certain lines and like certain parts that are just kind of annoying.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
If I didn't have any taste, I'd probably feel that way.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, great. Yeah.
So you get it, right?
Like, yeah. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, like no doubt.
No doubt. Yeah, dude. I'm so fucking stupid, dude. I can't even believe I call myself an Eminem fan. So you were saying?
Dude, what is the song on Relapse where he's talking about lay underneath the lawnmower and let the whole thing run over him or something?
Insane, yeah.
It's good, yeah. I love that line. Dude, it's just like a really funny album. It's like weird as hell. He's obviously not in the right state of mind, even more so than normal. Fucking lesbian shouldn't have had her legs in the way. Now she's pregnant and gay, missing both legs and begging to stay. Great album. Fuck Jason.
Yeah, great album. Yeah, great album.
Hit a fag with onions, then split a bag of Funyuns. What else we got? Lecter a fucking nectarine and sat him in the fucking fruit and vegetable section and gave him a lecture. Looking like I got in a fucking pillow fight with a triple fat goose. Another one. Bars. Yeah, and just, the prosthetic arm keeps crushing my heart. Taco, this anesthetic's pathetic, so is this diabetic waffle. I don't know, man. Just, really special stuff.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but I want to make a music video to it. I wish there was one, because, like, I just want to see all these random things happen. Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, I guess I'll touch more on the stuff you didn't touch on. I really like Careful What You Wish For.
Great song.
It just really talks about all the... I mean, honestly, it's, like, really great just to learn about stuff you didn't know about Eminem. Like, I didn't know he was going to retire, and I honestly didn't know Proof got shot and he, like, died and everything. And that song, like, sums it up, and then it's actually...
You're a fan, right?
No, actually, I'm not.
Okay.
It's all just a ruse.
Okay.
What else we got? Elevator. That song's pretty decent, actually.
Good song.
Hell Breaks Loose. I love the flow of that song. It just starts and pretty much never stops. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but basically him and Dre match their flows almost perfectly together, and the song never feels like it comes up for air at all. It's kind of like Superman, where it just all flows so smoothly together. And then I guess Forever isn't really an Eminem song, but I just want to give it a shout out because...
Good song.
I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like that might be like one of the best songs I've ever heard, just because I feel like everyone brings it or kills it. You know, they either give like a 9 or a 10 on that song, and there's 4 of the greatest rappers. You know, Drake, Kanye, Wayne, and them. So
yeah, no, it is a great song. Very iconic.
Favorite song is Beautiful, actually.
What?
Yeah, gotta go with Beautiful. That was another.
Used to be my favorite song. Yeah.
That was another one of my favorite songs for like a minute there. I was like between that and like Sing for the Moment for the longest time.
God, you're so deep.
It's so hard to pick. Yeah, I'm like really like, I'm like woke, you know. Like I feel like what's going on. My Mom is my least favorite song as well.
So we agreed on that.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's super annoying. My mom loves Valium and lots of drugs.
And I like how the Dr. West skit ends with his alarm going off, and then that goes into 3 a.m. basically.
Yep.
So it's almost like he woke up to that. I don't know, just a really cool album. I love how weird as hell it is and just random, and I don't know. It's almost a joke, and it's like so kind of dumped on by, I guess, Eminem fans, and he doesn't really acknowledge it that much either. I want to say the only song he played was 3 a.m., right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, he played Forever, his part, but I think it was just 3 a.m. So, like, yeah, he pretty much ignores that album as, like, it's a mistake or whatever, but still love it.
It was technically, Relapse Refill is technically 29 songs and about 2 hours of content.
Yeah, it's kind of not fair, but even if it was just Relapse, I think it'd still be where it is on my list.
Yeah, and same here. Like, whether it's Relapse or Relapse Refill, I kind of have it placed in the same spot because there are a lot of wordplay and flows on there that are just, I mean, awesome, but not all of them make a ton of sense. And the accent, yeah, most of it doesn't, and the accents are kind of annoying on some of them. But still a great album. Still went 2 to 3 times platinum. So, suck it.
Yeah. So what you got next?
Are we on? Did you just do your number 5?
Yeah, I just did Relapse.
So Relapse was your number 5.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5 is Recovery.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah. So the fact that I have M Show and Recovery at 5 and 6 are kind of surprising.
Hot
But
takes.
yeah, they're hot. But I still acknowledge the greatness of all of these albums. I think all of these albums are great. Really, it's kind of whenever you get to parts of Revival and Encore, and then obviously Infinite that I'm like, "Ugh." But everything after that, everything or whatever before that, depending on how you view language, to me is bueno. But yeah, Recovery, fantastic album. I mean, whenever it came out, I had just gotten super into Eminem right around Relapse being released, so I listened to like all of Relapse a ton. I listened to all of his previous shit before, and I just got caught up, and I was just super into Eminem at that time of my life. And when Recovery dropped, I mean, it's all I listened to. I think I listened to it on repeat for a year. Like, I don't think I listened to anything else.
I remember the night it came out, and you like came to school the next day. I was like, dude, this is awesome. It's like it's so damn good.
Yeah.
Like, this was back when I was getting my music from you, so I was like, yeah, dude, give me that shit.
So yeah, that's all I listened to. But going back, it's kind of whatever. And maybe this album suffers by the fact that I've listened to it so many times. But a lot of it's mid-tempo, which is, I guess, okay. But it's just kind of in that middle there. There's not like a ton of like super fast-paced bars. And there's also not like a ton of storytelling. It's kind of in that middle ground. It's got some bars, some storytelling, but it's kind of like just kind of lost in the middle, if that makes any sense. But still, again, fantastic album. I would say, oh, dude, I have so many favorite songs on this album. It used to change every week because I listened to the album so many times. Because at first, Cold Wind Blows was my favorite song ever.
Yep.
And then it changed. I mean, Not Afraid was a great single considering how basic and generic it is. And then it changed it went from like Cold Wind Blows to like No Love. And then it went from No Love back to Cold Wind Blows to Won't Back Down. And then it went,
Famous.
and then it went to Almost Famous. And then it went to 25 to Life. And then it went to Seduction. And I would say I've ended at basically a tie between like Seduction and 25 to Life, which makes no sense to probably most fans, but for some reason I freaking love both of those songs.
Great songs.
And I love White Trash Party too. Like shout out to that song. And even On Fire is a really good song. It's got some good bars in there.
That's how you know you're on a roll.
Yeah, dude, nice. I'm so sick. I got Amos is pulling me over and shit. But yeah, I would say, yeah, favorite song tied between Seduction and 25 to Life. Least favorite song is probably You're Never Over, which is his shout out song to Proof, which I feel bad for making that my least favorite song. But like, I don't know, dude. Just like some of his, like, pretty much anybody that has a song dedicated to somebody, like, I just generally don't care because I don't know that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tupac has a few of them. Pimp C, Biggie, M, like Jay-Z, like anybody that's like been in the game for a while, they pretty much have somebody that was trying to get in the game and died, and they have a song about them. And I don't care for any of those songs. So yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. That's not my least favorite. My least favorite is. It was one of the easier least favorites to pick, to be honest with you. But
What's your least favorite off Recovery?
Session 1. I mean, I don't
that's not even listed as a song on the album though. That's like a bonus song.
Oh, I guess I'm looking at the deluxe. I guess I have the deluxe edition. Is that the only bonus song that comes with the deluxe edition?
So like on Spotify,
Ridas?
Yeah. So one session and Ridas were both like bonus songs, and I've heard both of them. But like on Spotify, they don't have either one of those songs listed. They literally just have Recovery as Recovery. There's like no deluxe version of Recovery. But yeah, I've heard both of those songs, and to me they just don't count. But I think both those songs are okay.
I just don't like Slaughterhouse, honestly.
Yeah, and exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Slaughterhouse is kind of whatever.
But I thought you loved Slaughterhouse. Or was that Gamble?
That's Gamble.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that was my number 5, Recovery.
5. Got 5 bathrooms. Number 4. God, dude, 3 and 4 I literally swapped. I've like erased and like scribbled through like it looks like 10 times because I couldn't pick which one. You kind of convinced me. I'm gonna go 4 Eminem Show. I think you made some good points, which was refreshing.
It's refreshing that I made good points. Thanks.
I'm just kidding. Oh man, dude. Yeah, I like this album more than you do, obviously, but I honestly,
Yeah, just lay it on me.
I will. Yeah, just let me talk when you get done messing with that ice.
Yeah, you're funny.
Nice. Well,
Ugh.
yeah. When the music stops, I don't really care about that. Say What You Say is actually all right. Yeah, but My Dad's Gone Crazy and Haley's song, they're just kind of on the weaker side. But I love Superman, obviously, and Without Me is a great song.
Yep.
But I honestly think that there hasn't been one song that's been played more than that.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's always on. It's always the song that people use for movies. It's just stupid. I hate it. I wish people would use other songs in Eminem's repertoire. I mean,
It's almost like the classic rock of like hip hop songs. It's like in that category of like
it is, yeah.
of
Hell's Bells or something, or
Hell's Bells, Hypnotized by
Iron
Biggie.
Man.
No, not even that stuff. I'm thinking like Don't Stop Believing by Journey, or like God, what's that other one? Like Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, or like
Crazy
We Will
Train.
Rock You by Queen, Crazy Train. Yeah, like it Without You is just like an endless classic. It'll never be out of style.
Yeah, well, it's just there's so many other songs that are honestly better by him, and that would better suit whatever movie you're trying to go for. But whatever, get your drinking game ready. But I'm gonna go ahead and mention it. It's used in Suicide Squad, and it's used pretty horribly. I don't know if you remember that, but yeah.
No, I forgot most of that movie.
Missing out.
All I remember is how bad it is.
I want us to just come out of a theater and
No.
all right, dude, let's review this movie. Like, do you remember anything? He's like, I just remember how bad it is. Honestly, that's it.
Okay, real quick. I hate to get off topic, but 2 things since you just reminded me. Whenever I was talking to this guy at work, and he was just like said something about movies, and I go, yeah, like I see a bunch of movies, and like I don't know. He was like, were you impressed by this or that? I was like, honestly, dude, it's pretty rare that I'm impressed by a movie. And he's like, what? And I was like, dude, I don't know. I've just seen so many movies, and if a movie looks decent, my expectations get so high that the movie could never live up to it. And I was like, so most of the time I'm disappointed. He was like, okay, well, when's like the time you've been most disappointed? You know, like what? He's like, when has a movie really burned you? And I was like, ooh, that's a good question. And for some reason, I was brain dead. Like I was really tired. We had like worked all day.
We talk about it almost every day.
I know. I was like brain dead. We had been working all day, and I was like, honestly, dude, I can't even think. I was like, so many movies disappoint me. Like I don't even know how to answer that question. And he's like, really? And after like 10 minutes, I was finally like, like something else had happened. Like we had moved on, and I looked at him. I was like, dude, Suicide Squad. He goes, what? And I was like, movies that disappointed me. I was like, I was so hyped for that movie, and it was total ass water. He goes, yeah, that movie was pretty bad. And I go, yeah, thanks, man. So, like, Suicide Squad was, we related to that, and we both thought it was ass water. And then, you know, just again, me, like, having opinions on movies. Me and my mom walked out of Zombieland 2, and my mom was like, so what'd you think? And I looked, like, literally, this is the first, we haven't talked to each other yet about the movie. First thing she says walking out of the theater is, so what'd you think? And I literally looked at her and I was like, better than most of the crap we see. And she was like, yep. And that was it. Like, we both agreed that it wasn't that great of a movie, but it was better than most of the crap that we see. So I just thought that was funny, dude. Like, everything's ass water. No doubt.
Did she, like, I don't know. I don't know how far down the rabbit hole I want to go with this, but, like, we've seen some good movies this year, yeah? I mean, did she see Good Boys?
Nope.
Spider-Man?
Yep.
I mean, that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, but she, like, sees other movies with Karen that I don't go see.
Oh, so she's really, like,
she's seeing some garbage, yeah. And
Dude,
then
I don't know
like,
if I could do that.
and then like she's obviously gone to see other movies like Angel Has Fallen and just like some of this other stuff that we just go see. Like most of it's not that great besides like Avengers and Spider-Man and whatever. So yeah, I was like, yeah, it's better than most of the crap we see. Because like we saw Shazam together, and that sucked. So, uh,
Dude, I don't want to get sidetracked, but I don't understand what people see in that movie. But that's just
well, it's a superhero. It's got to be good, right?
no, it's not, dude. Like some of them are bad. Like I don't know. It's all right. It's okay.
All right. So back to you. You said Eminem show.
Number 3 is
Well, no. I haven't done my number 4. I thought you were finishing up Eminem show.
oh yeah. I mean, I'm done. I don't have a ton else to say. I
You
obviously
said
like it more
favorite. Wait, what was your favorite? Superman?
no, Till I Collapse is my favorite.
No, Till I Collapse is your favorite. What's your least favorite?
My dad's going crazy, I guess.
Not Haley's song.
You make a solid argument for it, but I honestly would rather hear him sing than his daughter.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. But he's got some good ass lines on My Dad's Gone Crazy. Like
That's what's hard
Haley.
about it. That's how good the album is. I still have good things to say about the song I'm least crazy about.
No doubt.
And honestly, it could go in my 3rd spot or my 2nd spot. And it just depends on the day. Like when we get to this level, like I love all these albums so much. It's like very little that separates them.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that I'm clear on that too, because I feel bad having Recovery and Relapse at 5 and 6 because Recovery and Eminem Show at 5 and 6 because I love both those albums a lot. But Eminem's just got a lot of great albums. So at my number 4, I put the Slim Shady LP.
You have not said Kamikaze yet. This is insane.
Yeah, I have not.
Holy cow! Go ahead.
Are you blown away?
I honestly am. I'm honestly shocked.
So yeah, number 4, I put Slim Shady LP. The reason why I put it there is mainly because of nostalgia, but also I kind of love, like I went back and listened to this album in its entirety, and I kind of just love everything about this album. I love the skits and the songs, and I feel like they all like complement each other really well. And just a lot of great bars and a lot of great storytelling, and considering this is somebody's first album on the scene, somebody that was previously kind of a nobody, and Infinite was kind of a bad album, and next he's being produced by Dre, and he's just got just endless storytelling and endless bars. I don't know. Just really like the album. Favorite song, Role Model, like we mentioned earlier. Least favorite song, probably I'm Shady. But
Go Gadget Dick. Work that shit out, and ain't no doubt about it. Hit the ground, cause an earthquake and power outage.
Yeah, fantastic album. Funny skits. I honestly don't understand the point of
either one.
The soap skit.
The soap one. I don't get where that is. It's just a clip from a soap opera.
Yeah, I don't get where that fits in. And it has Jeff Bass, which I think is the guy who does his like lawyer skits, his public service announcement skits, and it has Royce da 5'9" listed as well on the soap skit. So that doesn't make a ton of sense. And then the big skit where she's like, "I'm nauseous and I can't have lunch. Goodbye." Like, I don't know, that like it doesn't make a ton of sense either, but it's funny.
Dude, I love that one because shout out to Peter. Going back to Peter, like we used to always like associate like the dumb, I guess, super like standoffish, like too good for you girl. Like we'd always call her Zoe for whatever reason. And he's the one that made that connection. He's like, dude, there's actually a song called Zoe, and I was like, there's not a song called Zoe. And it's like, oh, it's a skit. But I love how stupid they make that girl sound and how they're like. I'm like, no. I just listened to Eminem in his car, and it is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. And dude, like, I crap you not, like, I've literally heard girls talk like that about Eminem because we were hanging out with girls that I guess were just way more into like country music and like don't say anything weird or anything like that. So obviously, when you hear some of these like super messed up Eminem songs, it's just like it is so disgusting. Like it's like, absolutely atrocious. Yeah, I don't know. I just
Well, there we go.
So accurate, dude. He knows what he's talking about.
He knows his shit. So Slim Shady LP, number 4. Now we're on number 3. What's your number 3?
MMLP, the original.
Wow. Classic.
Yep, I hear it's good. Dude, I just again, this could maybe even be my number 1. It's
Could
literally
be.
just like, yeah, I like this album a lot. I don't really have a ton bad to say about it. I think Stan is maybe like the best song I've ever heard, if we're being honest. Like in terms of just writing and like original idea and telling a story in a very good way. I think it's honestly one of the best songs I've ever heard. Just
Yeah.
in the most objective way I can say it, I guess. Like I feel like if you show that song to almost anyone, they can appreciate how sort of genius it is.
It's super genius, and I don't know how it came to be. Like, I don't know the full story behind it, but just in my opinion, the only thing I have a problem with Stan is the featured artist Ditto.
Mm-hmm.
Her, like, chorus was already, like, a song of hers. Like, she had already released that song.
Yeah, it was called Thank You.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's the only, like, problem I have is the fact that, like, he, I guess, borrowed the chorus from a song that's already been created. But,
She plays
again,
the girlfriend in the music video.
oh, dude, nice.
Yeah.
But
And,
yeah,
I wish they
yeah.
would release, because there's a way more, apparently there's like a way more messed up version of the music video that I would actually like to see. It shows
Oh,
him like putting her in the trunk and like alcohol and, like them drowning basically. Like it's just so messed up. Like but I would love to see that, honestly. I don't know why.
because it's you off, bro.
Yeah, it really does though.
So messed up. But yeah, no, you're right. One of the most well written stories ever in terms of just, I don't know, music.
I think that's one of the few Eminem songs that I feel like transcends people that like his
Sexuality.
music. Yeah, like sexuality and like gender lines. I would say like it's not just binary; it's more fluid. Probably the
Non-binary.
most fluid out of any of these things. But no, but I feel like anyone could probably appreciate that song on some level, which I don't know if any of his other songs really are like that, just because of the cussing and the absurdity of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marshall Mathers.
Uh,
Last year I was
just Marshall
nobody.
Mathers.
This year I'm just selling records. Everybody comes around like I owe him something. Fuck, you want from me $10 million?
Get the fuck out of here.
I love I'm Back. It's got like a sick amount of bass,
Yep.
and it's awesome to listen to in the car. The Way I Am, love
Great
that song
song.
too. I don't really care about Marilyn Manson, but I love how he sort of shouts him out, and Marilyn Manson is in the music video, which is kind of cool. Just for like a second, I don't honestly know. They must have been shooting somewhere near each other or something, because I doubt he would have had him come all the way out there for like 2 seconds. But there's like a part in the song where he mentions him, and then there's like a sort of like a like that's basically Manson making that sound, and it just shows his face for like a second. Who knew? Not a bad song either. Actually,
Great
kind of
song.
underrated. Amityville. Don't really like the song, but dude, it has like one of the sickest beat things ever. Where at the very beginning, it sounds like they're starting out the song, and they like sort of scrub through the record real quick, where it's sort of like and it just, I don't know. It's like one of the coolest things ever. I listen to just that first like 30 seconds all the time because I love when they do that. But I'm not really a big fan of the rest of it.
What?
Kim, super messed up.
You don't like Bizarre's verse where he's like pissy drunk at the urinal, you fucking homo? That's what I said at my dad's funeral.
Yeah, I love that line, but the song overall, Criminal, definitely a banger, amazing song. Kim, I love that.
Yeah, that song's hilarious.
It's like super funny. It's just really messed up.
It's fun for the whole family.
Look at it. The Kids, which is,
I guess funny. Doesn't really count.
Yeah.
The kids replaces Kim on like the clean version of the album. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's edited on every version of the album except for the Australian one for some reason.
Of course, the Australians like getting fucked up.
I guess. I don't know. Kill You, another great song. I don't know. I guess a real quick rap review on it. One of my favorite songs from Marshall Mathers. Double barrel, 12 gauge, bigger than Chris Wallace, pissed off. His Biggie and Pop just missed all this, watching all these cheap imitations get rich off them and get dollars that should have been
They've
theirs.
been theirs like they switched wallets.
Yeah.
Piss all this Chris popping. Just watching. I can sit back and just watch and just get nauseous.
And then I also think I was put here to annoy the world and destroy your little 4-year-old boy or girl. Plus, I was here to put fear into faggots who spray Fago.
Like a root beer and call themselves clowns so they look queer.
Love when he just shits all over the
Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah.
In fact, you two don't. And Silently Gay claim in Detroit when y'all live 20 miles away. And I don't wrestle on like you fucking faggots the fuck out.
In makeup who may try to scratch me with their nails. Yeah, I don't know. We could be here all day. It's a great album. I got nothing else to say, honestly.
Real quick, one of my favorite things off that album, aside from all of the stuff that you've already said, because I agree with all of it, he really doubles down on dissing the Insane Clown Posse on the Ken Kniff skit right after Marshall Mathers, where he literally has two of the band members sucking Ken Kniff's dick, like super aggressively. It's just like super sloppy and super loud and kind of disturbing to listen to, honestly. But like literally,
yes.
Oh yeah, Shaggy and Silent J. Oh yeah, suck my dick, say my name, and they're both like Eminem, and he's like, what? It's Ken Kniff, you fucking faggots. He's like, if you want to suck Eminem's dick, you can have it. And they're like, no, Ken, come back. You know, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, because he like really disses them with that skit. I think that was hilarious, and like, even though it's really hard to listen to, it's one of my favorite skits in the fact that how disrespectful it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's not mixing words about it at all. Like, you really have no respect for the freaking Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, no, that's good. So number 3, MMLP. That's crazy.
So what do you got now?
My number 3 is the album that you've been waiting for me to say, and that's Kamikaze.
Jeez, dude, like, man, that's ridiculous. It's that high.
The only reason, I mean, it might be that high because of recency bias, but sure. I listen to it all the time. Like, I mean, I have a hard time not listening to The Ringer, Greatest, Lucky You, Normal, Not Alike, Fall, Kamikaze. Like, I pretty much listen to those songs all the time. And then if I'm feeling like really frisky, I'll listen to Nice Guy, Good Guy along with that. I mean, really the only songs I don't listen to are Stepping Stone and Venom. So, so yeah, I don't know. It's just a great album. Like, he has endless bars. He's motivated. He's pissed off at a lot of people. He gives all of them the shit. He disses everybody. And I just like the wordplay on all of it. It's probably, that's why it's my number 3, is just because as a project as a whole, there's really nothing I don't like about it. And because even Stepping Stone, a song that I don't like, you know, I appreciate the message, I appreciate the story. I don't like the song. I don't know. It just doesn't get me hyped, doesn't do anything for me. Favorite song? God, dude, that's so hard. Favorite song is probably either The Ringer or Normal, because those are the two songs I listen to the most.
Really, Normal?
Yeah, Ringer and Normal are like tied for first, and then tied for second is like Lucky You and Not Alike, because those 4 songs are just so like my favorites. Least favorite is honestly probably Stepping Stone, because I can at least tolerate everything else. I can't make it through Stepping Stone. I can just give a shit less about how bad D12 is. It's just not good, dude. I don't know what else to say about it aside from like My Band and Purple Pills. Like, I can just give a shit less about what D12 has to offer.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
they're not that good.
Yeah, Kamikaze number 3. So what's your number 2?
Recovery.
Wow, that's pretty high.
Honestly, it's the top 2. Like, nostalgia is definitely, like, I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. Nostalgia definitely plays like a factor in both of them. But to me, like I love every song on Recovery pretty much. I really don't have a problem with almost any of them. Again, if you count Session 1, I like Session 1.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
all the other songs I love, and there's really not a skit on here. So it's just pretty much a full album. Won't Back Down, always my jam.
True.
I don't know, dude. Like he hits like a really good balance in this album of messed up, taking shots at people, being honest, but going hard as shit. Like on Cold Wind Blows and Won't Back Down. And like he's got a couple of nice features. I like Pink on there, and I like Lil Wayne on there as well. And then
Yep.
I know Love the Way You Lie is like super overplayed, but that's a damn good song. Like I can't really take
Fantastic.
anything away from that. It's just overplayed, so it's not really. I don't. It'll be a while before I come back around to listening to it and actually uh, enjoying it more than because again it's a super overplayed song and I don't blame him because there's not that many curse words in it. But yeah, I honestly when you said Cold Wind Blows I was like, dude, like preaching to the choir. That is my favorite song on the album.
Recovery favorite song is Cold Wind Blows.
Yes, dude, I love that song, dude. I love it so much. I love when he's talking about I'll be nicer to women when Aquaman drowns and the Human Torch starts
swimming.
It's so good. And then he dumps on like Michael Vick, and he dumps on. That's the song where he's like, "But take a look at Mariah the next time I inspire you to write a song."
The right song. Yeah. Yep.
I love that one too. I think Almost Famous is when he takes a shot at Ben Roethlisberger, and I really enjoy that one too.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, we've already talked like these albums like so much. We've already talked about like all these songs basically. Is there anything? 25 to Life. I love how it seems he's talking about a woman for the first
Yes.
and then it switches to he's talking about rap because he's talking about breaking up with someone, and then
It's
clear
the
that he's talking
rap
about breaking. Yeah, he's breaking up with a rap game. Super well done. I love the feature of "You Don't Own Me" in Untitled. I don't know why that song is still still being sampled, but I love how he does it in this song.
The only thing I would say is like to me 25 to Life and Spacebound are two like both just awesome. Like, 'cause Spacebound to me could be on the level of Love the Way You Lie. If it weren't for the person doing the chorus, whoever the fuck does the chorus, I cannot stand. I don't get
And
why
I
he
even
would.
like the guitar sound that goes in there whenever it goes to the chorus,
Yeah.
because it goes from like a more hip hop sound to a guitar when it goes to the chorus in Spacebound. I actually like the way that sounds, but yeah, it's just such a weird voice. Like I picture the person that's singing that, and they look weird as hell.
Yeah, I don't like the chorus on that shit.
Love is evil. Spell it backwards. I'll show you. I love how clever that is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I got for number 2.
Numero dos, Recovery, bro. Nostalgia. The height of your Eminem fandom.
I don't think so.
Nice.
The beginning of it. That's why it sticks in there to me, is because that's like when I really got into Eminem.
What did I just say?
I thought you said the height.
Yeah, whatever. That's what I meant. Freaking goddamn freaking people. Alright, so number 2. My number 2 is MMLP2. Which spoilers, I already know where MMLP2 ranks for you, LOL. Yeah, no, it's the only one you haven't said yet. Fuck. So anyway, this is one of the few albums that I also have on CD. I think it's the only M album I have on CD, and I've listened to it countless times. I've listened to it on so many drives between West Texas and Houston. Pretty much every time I had to make that drive, I listened to that entire album at least once or twice. So I listened to it a lot, and I listened to it probably on loop for like the first week or two that it was released, because like I was a freshman in college, and this was just like the biggest album that had come out since Recovery, pretty much the height of my fandom of Eminem, and is also the album that this was the album that we technically saw live in Detroit, and in Austin. You know, he was doing Rap God and the Monster. It was the Monster tour that we had saw him on. So it was just a big album, and just pretty much every song is fantastic. Especially love. I mean, and I know I'm going to name pretty much every song on the album, but I really love Bad Guy, Rhyme or Reason so much better. Survival I Can Live Without, Asshole, Berserk, Rap God, Brainless, Stronger Than I Was I Can Live Without, Monsters, the singles I Can Live Without, So Far, Love Game, Evil Twin, and then all the bonus tracks are pretty good.
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day is definitely so Groundhog Day is like my low-key favorite, but actual favorite song is so hard to pick. I would almost have to go with Bad Guy over Rap God, only just because Rap God seems way too easy to pick. And then least favorite song would probably have to be a toss-up between Stronger Than I Was or Headlights, just because both those songs are super soft.
Yeah. I don't hate that either. I don't like the guy who does. I don't know. I don't really hate the guy's voice, but it definitely doesn't add much to the song. The guy from FUN or
Fun,
whatever,
yeah, fun, yeah.
whose name is also
Nate,
Nate, which is confusing because he's talking about Nate, his
brother,
or his uncle.
adopted brother / uncle, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. God, that's weird. Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Oh, sorry. I think it's his uncle, but he adopted him because Nate, I think, had special needs and he was younger and Eminem had a bunch of money and he legally adopted him from his mom or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it is my number one album, and I think it's just because the first time I was like aware that an Eminem album was coming out, so I was super hyped for it. It lived up to the hype. I remember it coming out again. It was when I was basically able to listen to the music nonstop and not having to worry about anyone getting in my way of listening to it. Basically, because when we just got to college, and every song on it I love and it's got such a diversity to it too.
Yeah.
Like he's talking about serious stuff and legacy, and then I'll have a funny song like Asshole or Brainless, and then he's sampling stuff in Rhyme or Reason or So Far, and it's just, to me, it's like one of the best albums to have. I don't know if anyone ever does a sequel this good, in my opinion, because he does like a parking lot skit that takes place after Criminal, which is the first MMLP.
Yep.
Like the last song on that album, which is genius. He names the song Bad Guy, which no one thinks anything of it, but it's actually a sequel to Stan, which is, again, awesome.
Well, he has that line saying where he's like, I'm the bad guy that
makes fun of people that die. But like, no one ever thought that was going to be, that he would do a sequel to that song. Because, like, how do you touch a song like that? Like, everyone loves that song, you know?
And he did a sequel to the most epic song ever. And not that the sequel is better than the original, but the sequel lives up to it. Yeah. And it's a 7-minute sequel of like great storytelling, great bars, great inner reflection on his like himself and his career, and like, I don't know, great song.
And then we were singing it earlier, but Wicked Ways, dude, badass song. Love that song. I don't know why they couldn't do that again, but I love that song. Desperation again, pretty good song actually. I like Beautiful Pain. Evil Twin, I actually really love. I was tempted to pick that as my favorite song, but honestly, I'm gonna pick Rap God, which I know is generic, but I think it's probably, if I had to pick a favorite Eminem song, I would pick that song.
Wow.
Just because I feel like I want to listen to it almost all the time, which I can't really say for any other Eminem song because he's got such a variety of music. I feel like you can have a different mood and want to listen to a certain set here or there. So it's like a safe pick, but I mean, again, I really wouldn't want to pick a favorite Eminem song because it's so dependent on the mood. But yeah, phenomenal album. I love every song on it, except for, I would say, Stronger Than I Was. Yeah, I'm kind of on. I'd pick that as my least favorite, but I still listen to it.
Yeah.
And MLP1 is your favorite.
Yep. So MMLP 1 and 2 are my 1 and 2 albums, which just to me shows you how powerful that first album was, and then how the sequel definitely followed up and lived up to expectations, and how both albums are like pretty different. I don't know, like the first album, is definitely very different than MMLP 2. Really, the only similarities that those two albums have to me are, Stan and Bad Guy. Other than that, the albums don't really have a ton in common, aside from the fact that in MMLP2 he does a lot of reflecting on his legacy and his impact on the rap game and the impact of MMLP1. But in terms of just sound and style, like they are very different. But yeah, MMLP1's first album, nostalgia plays into it, but also it's one of his first albums that I went back and listened to after I had discovered him. And I just love that album. I love Kill You. I love Stan. I love Who Knew. I love The Way I Am. I like The Real Slim Shady. I'm not crazy about Remember Me, but I still enjoy it. I love I'm Back. I love Marshall Mathers. I love Drug Ballad. Not crazy about Amityville, but I still like it. Big Fleece 2 is super awesome. Just the fact that it's got Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Exhibit, and Nate Dogg all on the same song, and they all actually drop a pretty good verse. Kim is just the craziest song probably ever recorded, and then Under the Influence D12 is kind of whatever, but it's kind of funny. At least M's part is decent. And then Criminal's just great. I don't know. It's just a complete album for me, and I love it. I love the Kim Kniff skit, like I mentioned earlier. Favorite song is probably The Way I Am off that album, which is also a shout out for my favorite Eminem song ever. I would say it's a tie between The Way I Am and Superman, believe it or not. Because those two songs I listen to all the time, nonstop. Like, doesn't matter what mood I'm in, I can pretty much always listen to those two songs. And that's why Kamikaze ranks so high too, because I just listen to it so much. I just go back and listen to it all the time. It's kind of how I rank these albums, is almost based on how much I go back and listen to it. Because besides Superman, I don't listen to the Eminem Show that much. I don't really go back and listen to Relapse and Revival that much anymore. I definitely don't listen to Encore and Infinite that much. Recovery, I'm pretty much always listening to, like Seduction or No Love. Slim Shady LP, I just, listen to Role Model and some of those other songs on there. But yeah, I don't know. MLP1, man, just a great album. His first Diamond album. And I can listen to it all the time. It's so iconic. It's so dark, too. I think
that's probably the difference between the two albums. It's way darker.
Yeah, way darker. And I would say the Slim Shady LP was like storytelling and bars, and this Marshall Mathers LP was still storytelling and bars, but just way darker, way more aggressive. That was like the main difference between those two albums. And his first two albums are always regarded as his best two for a lot of people, or at least his first three are regarded as his best ones. But to me, that second one there is just so great. And Kim is just so fucked up.
Let's do a couple of rapid fire questions here.
Yep.
Would you take Southpaw or the 8 Mile soundtrack?
So, if I had to pick a CD, so exclude the movie, and technically Lose Yourself is included, but I'm almost excluding that because aside from Lose Yourself, I'm not super crazy about the 8 Mile soundtrack. I feel like I would almost take Southpaw.
I like Rabbit Run, and I like 8 Mile, the song, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always get confused what that song is called because it's like double listed or whatever. But yeah, I like those 3 songs.
Ooh, and Love Me. I forgot about Love Me.
Yeah.
And Rap Game. Damn,
yeah.
And Wanksta?
What?
Wanksta by 50 Cent.
So to me, I'm taking 8 Mile because the way we just laid it out. Because to me, love the Southpaw songs that I love. Don't really give a crap about pretty much anything that doesn't have Eminem in it. I love All I Think About. Love that song. And then I love Raw, obviously. And I like Mode, actually, by Rhyme, I guess.
Yeah.
I like Mode a lot, too.
And Phenomenal.
Phenomenal, yeah. In terms of an album, I'd rather listen to 8 Mile, I guess.
Yep. And then looking at the albums, Southpaw is actually a kind of a short album, so I'm still going to stick with Southpaw just because I can tolerate Kings Never Die. I like Beast.
Oh, that's right.
I like Raw. R&S by Slaughterhouse is kind of whatever, and then Wicked Games by the Weeknd is not an original song for the album, but I love that song. All I Think About is great. The 50 Cent song Drama Never Ends is whatever, but then Mode by Prime and Logic, Notorious Thugs by Biggie is classic, and then Phenomenal is also classic. So I will take Southpaw. So you took 8 Mile, I took Southpaw.
What's your favorite feature?
Okay, so hang on. Is this M is the feature?
Yes.
God, dude, that's so tough.
I know.
It's kind of a toss-up. The 3 that I wrote down that stood out the most to me were No Favors with Big Sean.
Yeah, dang. Forgot about that one.
All She Wrote with T.I.
Yeah.
And then Homicide with Logic.
Wow.
What were the ones you wrote?
I would throw in Forever. I really like him again. He's not a huge part of that song, but I just.
Oh, it's fantastic.
He almost embarrasses the other people because he kills it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would take him. I would take.
Drop the World with Wayne.
Drop the World is another great one. I honestly really like Best Friend.
With Yellow Wolf, yeah.
He does the majority of that song too. Like that song's, I think 5 minutes. He does from 2:20 something to the end of the song, basically.
Yes, dude.
I love the thing he does where he says your enemies all around you, surrounds you, and like every word goes to your left ear or your right ear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He basically does like what I do on accident with this episode. So it's great.
Dude, I forgot about his Yellow Wolf features. Yeah, I fucking love Best Friend, and I love Throw It Up off his first album. Yeah. Yellow Wolf's first album.
Oh yeah, that is a deep cut. And there's so many. Like honestly, I like his one. He's featured, but he does both verses, and they're the only verses on the Hills.
I Need a Doctor.
Remix.
Oh, the Hills remix is good. Yeah.
Dude, like I don't just. This question's so hard. I don't know. Let me.
If you put a gun to my head, I'd probably put All She Wrote, just because I don't know.
Yeah, it's a great back and forth.
Yeah. Because I don't agree. I don't count Renegade with Jay-Z, because even though it's on Jay-Z's album, that was technically M's song first. It was like M and Royce, or Royce and M, and Jay-Z just basically bought the rights to the song, so I don't really count that. Yeah, I still throw in Renegade. I fucks with Renegade. And don't forget, even though he has a super short verse, the song with Akon. Hey, you creeping from the shadow. What is that song?
Jump up and shake that, smack that.
Smack that. There you go.
All on the floor.
Smack that.
Give me some more.
Smack that.
Convict.
Convict music.
Slim Shady.
Do you want? Cause she be that lady. I feel you creeping. I think
that's All She Wrote is good.
Patiently Waiting with 50 Cent.
No, I'm not good. Actually, My Life, he has a really sick verse in that one.
Yep. Another trash song with a great end verse. Yep.
I agree with that one. I honestly had. What's the best 50 and M song? I think that's probably the best 50 and M song.
Is My Life?
Yeah. What's better?
Patiently Waiting.
No.
Crack a Bottle. Remember the Name. You know, but you act like you don't know, or whatever. Yeah, it's called You Don't Know.
You Don't Know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like
it might be You Don't Know, actually.
Yeah, Jimmy Crack Corn.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm still going with My Life, honestly.
Love Me. Never Enough. Encore.
No.
Encore, where he's like, we go, or We're blocked out through the front, but we go through the side, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm still picking that one. What's your least favorite?
Oh, Catman and Robin.
No.
Spend some time.
Stop. I don't care anymore. I've made my decision.
What did you pick?
I'm still picking My Life.
Yeah, it's wrong. What? I don't know, dude. M has like the sickest verse on Patiently Waiting, but it's not that great of a song, I know.
Same thing about My Life.
Yeah, exactly. I would say I'll just go with Never Enough.
Alright. What's the least
but
favorite M feature overall?
Least favorite M feature? See, that's the thing. I'm not crazy about the 2 songs that he's done with Nicki Minaj, but he's done a great job on both of them.
True.
He's got a lot of other obscure features that just aren't as good. Where you said, like, where he's the feature, right?
Yeah.
What's your...
Well, mine's like... I have a couple of, like, cheeky answers. Like, I would probably pick... I'd probably pick My House, or Our House, Slaughterhouse.
That's the thing, he kills it on that, though.
Which Slaughterhouse song? He's barely... Well, see, like, you could technically pick... You could pick...
He's barely on... He's barely on Asylum, too.
Asylum is the one I'm thinking of. Like, you could pick Asylum, or you could pick Twisted, or you could pick I Love the Way You Lie Part 2.
Yeah.
That's another...
Oh, dude, you also... You know what you forgot for Best Feature? Airplanes, Part 2.
Damn, that is true.
Great feature, but terrible song. I mean, great song, but, like, I don't know, it's kind of annoying.
Oh, yeah, it's overplayed.
Nice.
Boom Rhapsody. I don't know, Numb is probably his... I don't know if that's... He has, like, 5 seconds, and it's not really that good. Like, he has, like, no time in that song. I would say that's probably my least favorite. I would go with Numb, with Rihanna.
Numb with Rihanna, okay. I would say, even though his verse is great, I would say that song that he has on Nicki Minaj's first album, Roman Reloaded, I just have a really hard time getting through that song because she is so bad on it.
Is that, it's not Roman's Revenge?
That's the other one? It is. No, it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, she just does that stupid voice for like 15 minutes, and I don't know. I think about running the car off the road.
Yeah. It's
Garbaggio.
Yeah, no, I have a hard time getting through that one because I think his verse is fine, but
oh, it's great.
Actually, or his song "Bang" with Conway the Machine's definitely up there.
Oh yeah,
and actually, it was even crazier too. Is like another shout out for best feature would be "Rainy Days" with Boogie, another recent one that he's done. I like that one.
Like a shepherd having sex with a sheep.
Fuck what you heard. Now, speaking of, have you heard that the title of the song that he's doing with Joyner Lucas on Joyner's new album? Have you heard about this?
What's it called?
What If I Was Gay?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard about this controversy? So, Joyner made a big deal about having Eminem on his ADHD album. And he's like, yeah, I got M storytelling like you never heard him storytell before. Like, he ain't rapped since Stan or whatever. And then there's a snippet of the song that gets leaked, and apparently it's called What If I Was Gay? And everybody's like freaking out about that. Like, what do you think?
That's going to be hilarious. Or great. Or both. It's a win-win.
I think so too. I feel like it's somehow going to have like a deep message, and it's going to be like politically correct in a way, if that makes sense. Like, it's going to be...
I don't think he would take a direct shot at gay people, honestly, because he's gone on record multiple times being like, I don't have anything against that. It's just like that's how I insult people. Like he says, so, he puts it in a really nice way, but like he's basically just saying like that's just how I grew up. Like that's the kind of insult I throw at people.
Yep.
And it's not really anything personal. And like I think, obviously he's not, because him and help me out here. You know what I'm talking about? Him and Elton John are really good fans.
Oh, Elton John. Yeah.
So.
Okay, so real quick, I just based on some of the Googling I've done, I actually need to change. What did I say? My least favorite feature was Nicki Minaj. I still stick with that. Favorite feature, I had said All She Wrote, but actually I just realized too that I had forgotten. Honorable mention, Calm Down with Busta Rhymes. Not that great of a song, kind of underwhelming, but I liked Eminem's verse. Forgot about Dre. Like, I don't know how we forgot. That's like an honorable mention, but it's still not my number one. Number
My
one.
favorite Dre and M song.
Oh wow, we're gonna get to that in a second. My favorite Eminem feature, and probably favorite Eminem and Dr. Dre song, now that I think about it, is Medicine Man, which is only on Dre's album Compton, which is only available on Apple Music, and you can listen to it on YouTube, but I can't like just listen to it on Spotify whenever I want. But I think Eminem has an amazing fucking feature on Medicine Man, and it's just like so aggressive, so powerful.
Yeah, that's
Everything
mine. That's mine as well. That's my favorite.
feature.
No, I still go All She Wrote, but that's my favorite Dre one. I feel like Dre is great in that album, actually.
Yep.
And I think Eminem's still better, but I think that's really good. And the song is amazing, and I love how he just freaking. He says something about like a ghost flows through the walls and like.
Yes.
Whatever. Rosengrew balls. He's like the way he says it though, dude. Like it makes the
It
hair on
gives
my
you
arms
chills.
stand up. Like it's so awesome. The way he talks about just, yeah, I'm basically gonna give everything I have until I die.
Yup. Yup.
Also, shout out to that line, idiotic from the freaking embryonic sac to the body bag. Love that line too. From Homicide. I don't know. I always think that for some reason. I love it.
No
It's just one of
doubt.
those lines that's just randomly stuck in my head. Oh, and shout out to couldn't hold a candle to me if you were at a prayer vigil.
Where's that from?
That's from Homicide too, as well.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Couldn't hold a candle to me if I was at a prayer vigil. I actually hit someone with that the other day, where like there's like he was talking about this like guy that I hate, and he was like, dude, like that guy like he's gonna steal all the girls in town or whatever. Like you worried or whatever? Like he was messing with me, obviously. And I was like, dude, he couldn't hold a candle to me if I was at a prayer vigil. That's like really good. And I'm like, thanks, I came up with it myself. No, I was like, yeah, no, dude, it's from a song. Like, I was just like, once I said it, I was like, dude, that's actually a really dope ass way to say that.
Yeah. Em is sick, bro. Stealing his bars.
Yeah, if you've gotten anything out of the last 2 hours and 40 minutes, Em is sick.
Yeah, no, in case you didn't know. Alright, so I said my best Em and Dre song was Medicine Man. You said yours is the same?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And what did you say your best M and 50 song was?
I'm still going with My Life.
Okay, you got My Life, and then his best feature is All She Wrote?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay, and then what was your favorite skit?
Oh, it's Soap. It's the Soap
Soap.
skit.
Yeah. Alright. And mine's either the King Kniff skit or the Dr. West skit. King Kniff skit's where he's got Shaggy and Silent J sucking King Kniff's dick aggressively, and then the Dr. West skit is where he's like getting out of rehab and the doctor's like, take a drink, man, relax. Hello, Marshall, where's the pills? And it just gets like super dark and
We'll
like you
be together, Marshall. Just take a drink. Take the edge off. Take a drink.
Yeah, so
you find when you don't. You
yeah,
don't.
yeah. You sound like a bit of a baby. You sound like a bit of a baby.
So funny, dude.
The 12 steps, yeah, there's so many. Oh, Christ, I can't even remember them all. So, yeah, that whole thing.
Dude, I always go into that skit at least a little bit whenever someone yells the name Marshall. They're like, hey, Marshall! Marshall!
Marshall.
I always go into it like a little bit, and I'm like, this is like, there's no one here to get this reference.
So who do you think his best signee or label mate is? Honorable mentions would be, like, anybody that you can choose from would be D12, Obi Trice, 50 Cent, Royce da 5'9". I wouldn't count Dr. Dre because Dr. Dre signed him. So, just all the people that he's, like, signed, Slaughterhouse, all the people he's signed and worked with, who do you think's the best?
It's Royce.
You think Royce is the best?
Yeah, I mean,
That's because of recent memory, right? If it weren't for like recent years, it'd probably be 50.
Yeah, I mean, I like 50 Cent. I mean, I don't like a lot of his music, but I don't like a lot of people's music. You know, I feel like if you've got like 5 or 6 songs that I actually like, you got a pretty good chance of me, giving you props. But Royce kills it with him every time. He's got a couple of good songs from Prime. Yeah, I don't know. He just, again, like I
Bad
just feel
Meets
like
Evil is amazing.
Bad Meets Evil is fantastic. And honestly, if we were included on this list, it would be in the top 3 for sure, if not top 2. I don't think I'd put it over MMLP 2, but it would be in the top 3 because it's just an amazing album. And the only song I don't like on there is,
Lighters.
well, dang it, now that I say that. What's the other one? The Loud Noises? Is that the one?
Oh, yeah.
Slaughterhouse?
Yeah,
I don't like the
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse one.
See, that's the
Of
thing.
course.
I like that song except for Slaughterhouse, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I like a little bit of it until it goes to Slaughterhouse, but I don't know if that counts. But every other song is fantastic, and I wish they would just make another album. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Maybe someday.
I don't know if there is like an album that's better than that, pound for pound. Honestly.
What, the Bad Meets Evil held a sequel?
Yeah.
IDKLOL for any face. Maybe MMLP 1 or 2.
Pound
But
for pound, though. I'm talking about like just in the sense that out of all the songs it has, almost all of them are amazing. You know, like
yeah, MMLP 1 and 2, yeah.
I know you can't do it, but like if you doubled the size of that album and it was still just as good, it might be better than those 2 albums. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
But it's not. So I don't. I mean, it doesn't. You know, it's just all hypothetical. But I'm just saying, as far as like the quantity versus quality, it's way up there.
Oh,
Well,
gosh.
Johnny, you about ready to call it?
Hell no. And then, yeah, no, actually, I'm about there, but because I'm gonna skip most of the rap reviews I had. I've already done a lot of them, but there's a few more, and I'm just gonna skip them. Okay, so who do you think? I guess his best feature has been like where he has a feature on the song.
Without counting Royce.
Yeah, I guess you have to leave out Royce. Because I'm not counting Bad Meets Evil. I'm talking about his studio albums. You know, out of the albums we just ranked, what's, I guess, the best feature? Like, in terms of the other artist.
It might be Wayne, honestly.
On No Love, or what?
Yeah, unless I'm forgetting something super obvious.
You could do Joyner on Lucky You. You could do Royce on Not Alike, because, again, we're talking studio albums.
I'm going Wayne on No Love. I'm going to go with that one, actually.
Okay, I'm trying to look up some other ones here real quick.
I feel like that was towards the end of Wayne being really, really good.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know, I feel like that's in itself is an accomplishment that both those rappers were still in their prime and did a song together.
Okay, what about Nate Dogg on Till I Collapse or Shake That?
Oh, Till I Collapse.
Yeah.
Also really like him on Say My Name. I don't know where that falls.
Yeah. Obi Trice on Drips. To me, that's like the best like no name feature that he's had. Like, I mean, no, Obi Trice technically had a career, but like he's still just one of another like signee of Eminem that really just wasn't that great. And to me, that was like his best song was Drips.
I agree.
Because Eminem doesn't have like a ton of features, and when he does, they're mostly his label mates. So I'm just trying to think of like who is the best.
Kendrick's
which one?
Out there, but he's not.
Yeah, Kendrick's up there. I would say Nate Dogg's up there with Till I Collapse and Shake That, because I love both those songs. Shake That only on Curtain Call, so shout out to that song. Nate Dogg's also on Never Enough, and he's actually pretty good on that as well.
Pink, I'd shout out to Pink, honestly. I don't know if you count that as a feature, but I mean.
Yeah, no, Pink's the feature, yeah. Yeah, we're talking about the songs where, like, somebody else is
just as the chorus is what I'm saying.
I count that. No, okay, I count that.
Shout out her then.
Okay. Mad props. I'm trying to think. There's someone else in here that I'm forgetting. Women's rights. All right. Yeah, I guess shout out to the guys on Wicked Ways. That's about it, too.
Ex-ambassadors.
Yeah. I guess that's the only other people I can think of.
Maybe Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran. That was the other one I had written down. Ed Sheeran, yeah.
Because here's the thing about Ed Sheeran is he's got a whiny poppy voice, and I don't really like his music. But at the same time, I don't like. Yeah, exactly. Getting to my point. But at the same time, I feel the exact same way about Bruno Mars, and he's been
River's way better.
And he's been on Mirror and Lighters, and on Eminem and Lil Wayne's albums, and I don't like those songs because of him. Whereas I feel like Ed Sheeran actually adds something to River, in spite of me not really liking his music. So like, shout out to him for actually, I guess, adjusting to the rap game.
Yep. And honestly, I like their song that they have out now that's on Ed Sheeran's most recent album, Remember the Name. Sorry, that's not the name of the album, that's the name of the song, featuring M and 50 Cent. I like the whole song.
Or something, right?
Yeah. And it's a super generic poppy song, but I think all three of them do a pretty good job, and it's just a fun song. So it's nice to have all three of them on it. So wrapping up here, the last couple things I have to ask you is, where would you rank the 3 R albums, Relapse, Recovery, and Revival? If you had to rank those three, how would it go?
Recovery, Relapse, and then Revival.
Okay.
Recovery is clearly the number one for me. It's a little bit closer after that, but I still think Revival's the worst. Still like it, but it's the worst in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess I would go the same, but you could really flip Revival and Relapse. It really just depends on what mood I'm in. I would almost say Revival's better, but I don't even feel comfortable saying that because Relapse has got the nostalgia for me, so it's kind of like it's like a bisexual at a transgender model show or something. It's just hard to pick. Now, when it comes to M, according to my listing here, his 3 most recent albums are Kamikaze, Revival, and MMLP2. And then his first 3 albums are, again, let's just get rid of Infinite. His first 3 major albums were Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, and The Eminem Show. Which 3 are you taking, the first 3 or the last 3?
Last 3 are Kamikaze,
Revival, MMLP2.
Oh, I'm taking.
So, they're like, hey, you can listen to the beginning of Eminem's career, the end of Eminem's career. These are the only options.
I'm gonna go with the last 3.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, that's a really tough call, but I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Grandma's ass cheeks.
Yep, you know what I'm saying.
And I will do the opposite. I was going to do this anyway. I'm going to go with the first 3. Really, the things that make it tough for me is the Eminem Show and Revival. Those are my out of those 6 albums, those are my 2 least favorites. So that makes it tough. But yeah, I would be taking the first 3. Definitely love the controversy and the drugs. No dope, no soul, or whatever they say about artists. Generic stuff. Oh, I was going through stuff and I relate to what he was saying back then. Yada yada, whatever.
That's it, baby. Why don't you comatose for me? Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Let's see, real quick. The Criminal. God, dude, he's like Pan's address, hate fags, he answers yes, or something. I forget what he said. Yeah, dude. Yeah. If I ever gave a fuck, I'd shave my nuts, tuck my dick between my legs and cluck. You motherfucking chickens ain't brave enough. My words are like a dagger with a jagged edge. They'll stab you in the head whether you're a fag or less, or a homosex, hermaph, or a trans, a vest, pants, or dress. Hate fags, the answer is yes. Homophobic? Nah, you're just heterophobic. Staring at my jeans, watching my genitals bulging. That's my motherfucking balls. You better let go of them. They belong in my scrotum. You'll never get hold of them. Oh, God. That's
I love
so
that line.
funny.
Man, dude, that's such a good song.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The mother did drugs, hard liquor, cigarettes, and speed. The baby came out disfigured, ligaments indeed. It was a seed who grew up just as crazy as she. Don't dare make fun of that baby because that baby was me.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's
I'm
off of Encore, right?
no, it's off a criminal.
Oh, is it?
I'm a criminal. Animal cake. She turned crazed. But how the fuck are you supposed to grow up when you weren't raised?
That's another great line. I love
Mm-hmm.
it when it always says like apparently you ain't parents. Like that one.
Little Eric jumps off the terrace. You should have been watching them. Apparently, you ain't parents.
Exactly. All right, dude. Let's get out of here.
All right, let's get out of here. You've been talking way too much about Eminem.
I agree.
Well, we finally did it. Did this take longer than our Avengers review?
Yeah, it took us longer to talk about 10 albums than 23 movies.
Well, that just shows you the impact of these albums over those movies. Pretty poop.
It really does.
Let me ask you real quick. I know we're trying to end it here, but since we're already talking about it and I feel like I'll forget, is Joker still up for Oscars?
Oh, yeah.
Like, for what?
It'll
What are
probably
the...
be for Best Actor, Best Picture. It's probably, I don't know, Best Cinematography, like bullshit like that.
Okay,
Best Costume Design.
but like it's up there for the major awards such as Best Actor, Best Picture. It's up there for that stuff, possibly.
Well, like...
Not that it's gonna win, but it's in the category, no?
Well, they don't announce the categories until, like, I think the end of the very end of the year, I think. Or maybe the very beginning of January. But you do, in order to get put into those categories, the companies that make the movies have to basically pay to put them in there. So it's like an application. They put their application in for those things. You know what I mean?
What about Avengers? Is the reason why I asked this. How can a movie like Joker be paid for and considered for the Oscars, but Avengers won't be? Like, how are you going to tell me that movie's not better than the Joker? You know?
First of all, I've literally never agreed with anything that's come out of your mouth more. Second of all, literally, dude, I think I don't know, it bothers me more than it should. But I think about it sometimes. And I'm just like, I like how everyone's talking about this movie, and like that's fine. But like, I'm just being honest with you. I saw 3 movies that were like way better than this movie this year, honestly.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't see that many movies. So like, I'm not saying it's a bad movie or even an average movie. I'm just saying like maybe you're overrating it. Anyway, basically it's because there's sort of a stigma. To basically sum all this up, there's a stigma against like genre movies, basically movies that are like a comedy or a hardcore horror or superhero whatever. Like there's a stigma against those kinds of movies, and in particular Avengers. You really can't call anyone the main character, so I don't think you can give them all. You can't give anyone the supporting actor or the best main lead actor. And then,
I
just
get all
again,
that.
what I said, like that. It's not right, but that's just the way it is. Like, there's never, like, Black Panther was the first movie to get nominated for the Best Picture, and that was, you can say it was a good movie, you can say it was this or that, but it was a lot to do with basically the culture and impact on like African Americans.
Yo,
Like it was a great
exactly.
thing. It was a great thing it did for that, but it really wasn't. And that's what the movies are about. Like this Joker's going to be about mental health, and I'm sure that Tom Hanks movie about Mr. Rogers is going to be about like, I don't know, just being nice or something. Like it'll be some
kids,
message.
yeah.
Like it's always like about race or accepting people or gay or something like that. Like there's always a deeper meaning to it. Whereas like Avengers is just like, this is just a story we're telling, and there's really we're not going for like deep society impact or something, like, which is what I think they sort of skew towards, is they want things these things stand the test of time, and like they're things that like hold values of society or something like that. It's more deep than that. So that's why Joker is up for all these, is gonna probably get nominated. Now I think Avengers will probably get nominated for like Best Supporting Actor and might actually win. because of Robert Downey Jr. and because he's basically a main character, but they can make him the supporting actor, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
Sort of like with Heath Ledger, how he was kind of the main character of The Dark Knight, but they made him supporting actor because that's really what he is, and it's just so he won, basically.
So basically, to everything that you said, yeah, I understand that the Avengers has so many characters. I didn't expect any of the actors to really win any awards or even get nominated for any awards, just because there's too many of them. If anybody's going to get nominated for something, yes, of course, it'd be Robert Downey Jr. And you can put him in whatever category you want. I just don't get how, like, Joker, before it comes out and right after it comes out, they're already talking like, oh, Best Picture. And of course, I understand Joaquin Phoenix being nominated for Best Actor, which I have no problem with that. But they're like, yeah, Joker, Best Picture. They're like, oh, Ford versus Ferrari, Oscar hopeful, Best Picture. Damon and Christian Bale, both Best Actor nominees. It's like, it's just like, in what world is Endgame, a 3-hour epic, 20 movies in the making? It's just all this shit happening. Like, how is it not at least Best Picture? Like, I don't care about the actor or actresses award or the best cinematography and all the fucking costume design and all the stupid awards that I don't care about. I just don't get how it's not in there for Best Picture. It just makes no sense to me. Like, you can say everything you want about every other superhero movie, Avengers movie, whatever. To me, movies that are as epic as The Dark Knight and Avengers Endgame should be in the running for Best Picture. Like, and I get Black Panther too. I understand the impact of that movie. I agree with all of that. But like, I just don't know how they're gonna. I don't get how they're gonna stand up there and be like, yeah, Joker and Ford and Ferrari and whatever the fuck else even came out that they can even put in that dumpster fire for Best Picture. Like, why would Endgame not be in there? There really ain't been that many good movies this year, even in terms of like artsy crappy films. Because they only got, name me another film that's in that running besides Joker and Ford versus Ferrari. What's another film in the running for Best Picture?
It'll probably be that Tom Hanks,
Mr. Rogers, yeah, Molest Kids Neighborhood, yeah. What the fuck?
Yep, and well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what are all the based on a true story movies that are coming out. It'll probably be that 1917 movie.
Yeah, well, that looks decent. I'll give that. But they
like,
don't even normally do that. Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, it's just like how we talk about with the NBA all the time. Like, why is the MVP not the best player? We all know who the best player is every year, yet we have this debate because of impact and, the story and the narrative or whatever. Just give it to the best player because that's the closest thing we have to a best player award. Whereas, like, to me, if you're just asking me, I'm like, ask anyone you know, and I think the Oscars is 8 or 10. I'm going to say 10. I think it's 10. 10 movies they nominate for Best Picture. I'm not saying Endgame should necessarily win. To me, it should, but, like, ask anyone you know, 10 movies, 2019, that you liked the most. You're going to tell me Endgame isn't one of them for most people?
Exactly.
You're going to name 10 other movies that are better were better to you than Endgame? I mean, that's fine, but are you really going to run into that many people? I don't think so. And, like, to me, it's just, I don't really understand because if you look at the Rotten, like, I know Rotten Tomatoes is, like, I always bring it up or whatever, but it's always, like, a good barometer of, like, how people are feeling about a movie. And if you look at both the critic and the fan ratings, they're similar to, like, Terminator Dark Fate and Hobbs and Shaw and, like, other movies that we aren't, like, talking about in the same way. Other movies we just saw and moved on with our lives. You know what I mean? Like, we never talked about it again. So I'm just sort of wondering, if it doesn't really have, like, that high of critic praise and the fan response is high, but it's not really, like, out of this world. And I'm really sort of wondering why it's being considered over other movies, just because I guess it's more realistic. There's not special effects. I think there's also a bias towards, like, special effects. Like, I think the second Thanos was the villain, I think they lost all hope, because I just don't think they don't want to see that type of thing, you know what I mean? Because when I say special effects, I mean, like, they're making monsters or, like, crazy backgrounds, because every movie uses special effects for, like, making the outside look like the perfect conditions you want when two people are talking, or what have you, or like a train moving a certain way. Like they always use something like that to make it look that way. But like it needs to look real, I think, for people to want it to nominate it, in my opinion.
So.
But you bring up a good point.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. The Oscars are just telling me to go fuck myself, though. Yeah, I'm interested to see Ford versus Ferrari. We'll see what happens there. Very final thing. Yeah, Booksmart. We still gotta see that when you come into town. I got that on deck.
I'm moderately excited.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Do you have a shout out for your least favorite M song before we get out of here? We kind of covered all the favorites and all the least favorites on the albums, but do you just have one song that you're just like, yep, that's my least favorite?
Another movie I wanted to list for the same thing as Joker is Zombieland. So.
What do you mean?
I couldn't think of it, but Zombieland is the other one with the exact same critic, exact same fan reaction. Like in terms of just this one source, but still, like why isn't it drastically different if it's that much better of a movie? I don't know. It's just something to think about. I would say, Fack, right? Fack's got to be the worst song. Is there anything else you want to entertain me with?
Yeah, I would say Fack is. You're right with that one. I would say that no matter what, I don't know, Stronger Than I Was always gets a shout out. My mom's always going to get a shout out.
My mom for sure.
Fack, yeah. What else is there? What else is on Encore? Let's see, we're looking at Encore here. My first single, but Fack is worse than that. Oof. Yeah.
There's nothing to beat. Like, nothing can compete with it.
Yeah, Fack and My Mom are probably some of my least favorites.
They should have put Fack in Suicide Squad so that it would have matched.
Yeah, it would have flowed a lot better. Yeah, bad song, bad movie, yeah, no doubt.
By the way, Suicide Squad has an Oscar.
For what, costume design?
Yeah.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, it was just like, I saw this thing the other day. It was like, Suicide Squad and Martin Scorsese have the same amount of Oscars. And I was like, wow.
What? Martin Scorsese only has one Oscar?
Yeah.
For what?
Best Director, I would imagine.
I know, Best Director for what movie?
I'm pretty sure it's Departed.
No.
Yeah. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's the Departed.
The Departed.
Those guys don't trust anybody with an immaculate record. I do. I have an immaculate record.
And now, they're hoping to get an Oscar for what, The Irishman?
Yep, Best Director, The Departed.
Really? That's it? He didn't get shit for anything else?
He was nominated for Goodfellas and Wolf of Wall Street and some movies I've never even heard of. But yeah, that's all he's got.
That's so funny.
So funny.
You're funny.
All right, man. Take us home.
All right, get out of here. All right. Genders and pronouns and fluids alike. Don't forget, I am pansexual, non-binary. Preferred pronouns are them, they. Reagan, heterosexual, male. Preferred pronouns are him, he. Make sure you hit us on Twitter with your preferred pronouns so we know what to ignore you by. For Reagan, I'm Ryan. You guys have a great night.